Changes to your diet. You stay active. You've followed your doctor's game plan to the letter. But when it comes to your health, you can't always tackle it alone. Go beyond typical treatments with a Simplicity blood pressure procedure. Brought to you by Medtronic, official sponsor of the Vikings. Talk to your doctor. Results may vary. Adverse events include but are not limited to temporary pain and bruising. Read important risk factor information at beyondhbp.com.
Vikings fans, looking to upgrade your wardrobe? This local brand based in St. Paul will become your new go-to. Unreal is the premium athleisure brand that combines comfort, versatility, and style. Crafting elevated apparel that will take you from the office to the gym or the airport to the golf course. Wherever you go, they've got you covered. Shop now at unreal.com and experience the difference yourself. That's UNRL.com, the best athleisure wear in the game.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Vikings tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So, get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Vikings.
Hey, it's Paul Allen, and for decades I've been telling you to go to Continental Diamond to buy your engagement ring. I have Andy here. Why do you think Continental Diamond has been so successful over the years?
It's definitely because of our We Care More attitude, PA. We have an amazing team that genuinely cares about providing our clients the best experience and the most value.
For 25 years, wow, a quarter century, I've been promising and they've been delivering. Visit Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park or continentaldiamond.com.
Hey Vikings fans, I'm Taylor of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders, and here's our best kept secret, Pure Luxe Med Spa. Laser hair removal at Pure Luxe is a game changer. Voted best med spa and laser hair removal by the Star Tribune, they keep us game day ready with Botox, filler, and our favorite, the Diamond Glow Facial. Visit mypurelux.com/skull to book your appointment today. Pure Luxe Med Spa, the preferred med spa of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders.
I'm Ivan Pace Jr., and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN. Back to Vikings football.
Welcome back to Vikings Football Sunday. I'm Tatum Everett, getting you ready for Vikings and Bengals. I am joined now by linebacker Ivan Pace, and this interview is brought to you by Wildfire. Now, Ivan, every season teams always face adversity, and this time right now it's injuries for several key players. What has it been like in the locker room this week?
In the locker room, it's just been like the next guy up. In the meeting rooms, we just talking about whoever's going to be the next guy up, got to step up and fulfill that role. It's not too much difference in talent here in the league, honestly, but you just got to step up and fulfill that role.
How do you guys bounce back in this game?
We coming off a loss to the Falcons, so we just going to bounce back, make sure we got our head in the game, get the game plan right, work on tackling, and just try to go out there and beat the Bengals.
So Minnesota's generated 45 pressures and 5 sacks so far. What's the plan to keep Bengals quarterback Jake Browning uncomfortable in the pocket?
That's Flo's defense, Coach Flo's defense. He loves pressure, so he's going to keep sending them after him, making the QB make quick decisions and trying to get the ball out as fast as out of his hands as quick as possible. So we're just going to keep pressuring him.
Jake Browning is someone that you guys are familiar with. Ironically enough, you saw him the last time you played the Bengals. And I don't know if you know this, but in week 2, he had a perfect passer rating against the blitz. And being that you guys are so, that's something that you guys use all the time. What's the key in balancing that?
Just our DBs got to be on body. We got, a couple premium receivers out there. So we just got to be on body during the pressures, make sure they don't get the ball out as quick as can.
And conversely, Josh Metellus in the locker room this week, he was talking about how stopping the run is going to be like the main focus this week. That is like the point of emphasis.
Yes.
And the Bengals really lean on Chase Brown and that run game to get them going, especially with this, backup quarterback situation to make him more comfortable. What are some adjustments that you and the front seven want to make so you can tighten up that facet of the game?
Just going out there and just balling, man. Just making sure that we get the running back on the ground. the NFL is a passing league, but they obviously try to run the ball a lot just off of they got a backup QB in there trying to get the running back out there. So you just got to make sure we got to stick together and get them on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about the injuries a little bit earlier. Eric Wilson being the guy, next to you in all of this. What has that been like making that transition?
It's great. He's a Cincinnati guy, University of Cincinnati, me and him in the box. So it's a good look for the team, good look for Cincinnati. So, I like him a lot. What is he, a year 10 vet? So he knows what he's doing a lot. So, yeah, it's good.
Is that juicing you up a little bit more?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are like, okay, this is the team we grew up watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a blast, to be out there with us, another Cincinnati person in the box, just working with him and just working with all the teammates too.
Well, thank you so much, Ivan. Really appreciate the time. Best of luck today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're closing in on kickoff between the Vikings and Bengals. Paul Allen with head coach Kevin O'Connell's next on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Bring on Vikings football with new gear from Shields. From jerseys, accessories, and signed collectibles, represent your team's iconic colors at the big game. Shields is your ultimate shopping destination with knowledgeable experts and great customer service to get you fitted for your passion. Whether you love style, sports, or the great outdoors, find it at your local Shields or Shields.com. Our experts are here to make every day a win. Shields, proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings and football fans everywhere.
Every team needs a top pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Anderson, the #1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last through every season, Anderson makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. So whether it's scoring style points or tackling tough weather, you can trust your home to Anderson, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Anderson brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersonWindows.com.
Eagan, Minnesota is the proud home of the Minnesota Vikings, and it's also the ultimate destination for fantastic fun. Eagan features over 100 unique restaurants and amazing attractions, such as Twin Cities Premium Outlets and the Vikings Museum. And when you stay in any of Eagan's 19 incredible hotels Thursday through Sunday and pick your package, you'll receive 2 free tickets to the Vikings Museum. Other great offers are also available. For complete details, visit EnjoyEagan.com. That's EnjoyEagan.com.
Ready? Set! TCO, for when the Minnesota Vikings need the best sports medicine available. Ready? Set! TCO, for partnering with more schools and communities. Ready? Set! TCO, for more urgent care locations ready to go. Twin Cities Orthopedics. Ready, set, TCO. Learn more at TCOMN.com.
They're getting ready, so you should too. Have KFAN as your #1 preset on the iHeart app and never miss a play.
All righty, it's the Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals coming up shortly, and Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, joins us in this spot each and every week. And here he is now with Carson Wentz at quarterback today. Carson Wentz, when he's humming along and in tune with the plan, from either what you saw this week or what you've seen in the past, what does it look like? Like, what does he do well?
Well, what I would say is starts with what the real goal for his week was. Is I want Carson Wentz to be the LeBron James of our team, and I don't mean I know people like to get into the GOAT argument with LeBron and Michael and Kobe, and rightly so. What an argument that is. What I mean by that is I want him to be the big 6'6" point guard. He is a point guard today. He is entrusted with both pre and post snap, putting the ball in play, throwing completions, allowing our playmakers to impact the game a little bit more than maybe they've been able to for a variety of reasons, me included, early on in this season. So Carson doesn't have to do anything more than what's required of doing his job, a job that he's done at a really high level throughout his career. And I know he's so excited to have had a great week of practice. He's ready to go today, and I really do enjoy opportunities like this to be right there with them for 60 minutes today in front of our great fans, and I believe our team will play well.
Andrew Van Ginkel, back to the Falcons game where he didn't play. You know, when you watched it back, obviously you have high-end play from him, the jumping of the routes, getting to the end zone, tackling the whole thing. But is his energy and the way he galvanizes people on defense, is that a little underrated?
I think he provides such a infusion of confidence just because of all the things you just said, whether it's the energy, whether it's the unbelievable off-the-charts football instincts, the seeing things before they happen, playing a step quicker than your opponent because of that preparation and because of that experience. And then the game just makes sense to him. When you're playing against, like we were, a pretty elite back last week with a really good run game, those instincts are sometimes the margin of error difference makers that save a 3-yard run from being an 8-yard run or a 10-yard run. Maybe it's his ability to understand a formation, and when he's dropping into coverage, alter that responsibility just a hair to make sure he knows and recognizes where that ball potentially may go off of that. And if he ever wants to catch a screen and run it back for a touchdown, that's okay too. But yeah, that's Andrew Van Ginkel in a nutshell. I'm glad you asked about him. He means so much to our organization, and very much so looking forward to when we get him back. And like I said, it's been something we've been looking forward to, because the minute you lose an impactful player like that, and it's happened throughout our roster this year, you feel like the next man's going to be ready to go, and they have been. But what can that be like when you get your full team all back together?
Kevin, what are you expecting from Jordan Mason today?
Yeah, I think Jordan, basically has been preparing all week long to be a bell cow for us, which is we want to give him enough carries so he can impact the game. We want to run the football. We just need more plays. I mean, we're one of, I think Thursday night Miami, became the second to last team to get over 100 plays, and they needed their third game to do it. We need our third game to do it. We've had 49 and 46 plays, just not enough plays for your offensive philosophy to truly take shape. The standard this week is all 11 guys need to do their jobs. Nothing more, nothing less. And let's just see what that looks like. Let's just see what that looks like for our team, not just our offense, our defense, our special teams, and make our football philosophy of what we want to be as a team and an organization come to life this week. And let's see where that gets us, because I've got a lot of confidence in what that result might look like today.
Anything markedly different with Cincinnati's defense from 2023 when Mullins went for 303 and 2 and Chandler went for 130 and change and 1?
Yeah, I think they've improved their personnel from a standpoint of they still have the benchmark players, the Hendricksons and some other guys, the Logan Wilsons in the middle of the defense, incredibly instinctive, smart, physical player. BJ Hill. I mean, you can go through the whole defense and you see quality. Real quality players all over the place. I think Al Golden's brought a level of, clearly they're well coached on tape when you watch them. Clearly they play hard, they tackle. It's a connected group on defense. And we're going to have to play well, and we're going to need our 11 to execute just a little bit more consistent, just a little bit more to the standard we're looking for out of the type of group we have to compete against these guys. And I think that we're going to see that today.
Lastly, is Trey Hendrickson one of those players that requires multiple bodies most plays?
Yeah, I think you got to just know where he is and have a plan for him whenever you can. It's something where as many times as you can possibly dictate that as the coach, you're going to do that. And then when you can't, you got to rely on your players to instinctively react and do the smart things to be accountable as a group, both our staff and players on the field, where he is, because he can impact the game. He's so unique from a skill set standpoint, a motor standpoint, football intelligence standpoint. He is a true elite player, and we've got to know where he is at all times today.
All right, my man. Tear it up. Thank you very much.
Thanks, PA.
Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm Paul Allen. The Boom against the Bengals around the corner on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network.
The recruitment industry has changed, and it's time for you to take action and change with it. If you're looking to advance your career, or your company is looking to hire key individuals that can grow your business, GPAC is here for you. We are the eyes and ears of the industries we serve. Contact us today at gogpac.com. That's GOGPAC.com. It's grow time.
What's the difference between banks and a credit union like Wings? One word: ownership. Banks are owned by shareholders, so profits go to shareholders. At Wings, you own it, literally. So profits are reinvested in your financial experience in the form of member-exclusive rates, robust digital services, and locations throughout Minnesota. No one likes switching, but it's time to stop missing out on the benefits of financial ownership. Visit wingcu.com/ownit. Insured by NCUA. Membership required.
Huddle up, Vikings Nation. Don't let that Skol chant fade. Let it echo through the hallways, the bars, the stadium, and the city. Because when the Vikings score 2 or more touchdowns, you'll get a free Big Mac with a purchase of $2 or more. Only in the McDonald's app. Offer valid once per person the day after the Vikings score 2+ touchdowns through 2/28/26 at participating McDonald's. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
I'm Justin Jefferson, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN. Back to Vikings football.
Showtime, baby. Oh, you know what's going on. Let's go, Vikings. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get it time.
Minnesota Vikings football is on the air all across the Minnesota Vikings radio network. Vikings football is proudly presented by the following broadcast partners: Vizzy Hard Seltzer, your local Northland Ford dealers, Polaris, and by Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. Vikings football is also brought to you by the following: U.S. Bank, Jacob Leinenkugel's Brewing Company, 3M, and by Lumen.
To the 30. Down the sidelines. Knocked out of bounds. Ball's loose. The goal line. Touchdown.
Today, the Purple look to bounce back against the Bengals. Now, let's go live to U.S. Bank Stadium, along with former Vikings Pete Bursich and Ben Lieber, here with the call of today's game. Of the Vikings, Paul Allen.
And welcome to Minneapolis, and welcome to U.S. Bank Stadium. This is Minnesota Vikings football, where the Minnesota Vikings, 1-1 from the NFC North, take on the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals from the AFC North. Pete Bursich, Paul Allen, Ben Lieber. Football fans, meet Pays, a convenient new online checkout offered by bank and credit unions. Learn more at Pays.com. The next voice you'll hear will be that of referee Ron Torbert. Into week number 3, Torbert and his staff have called the second most penalties of officiating staffs in the NFL at about 10.5 a game. The Bengals are wearing all white uniforms.
Good afternoon, Casters. Welcome to today's game. Here's the coin that we will use for the toss.
What's up, Ron?
The NFL shield is heads. My number 62 is tails. Cincinnati, you are the visitors today. What's your call?
Tails.
Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is tails. Cincinnati's won the toss. Deferred their choice in the second half. You want the ball? Which way do you want to kick? All right, stay where you are. Minnesota will receive the opening kickoff. Let's play football.
Let's play football, Ron Torbert. Vikings with their purple jerseys and white numbers. And Minnesota will look to head to Europe on a one-game winning streak after losing last week to the Atlanta Falcons. The next game, a week from today, will take place from Dublin. First game in the history of Dublin, Ireland. And it'll be against Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. But for now, Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. The Minnesota Vikings offense, pending something going amiss on this kick retrieval, will feature Carson Wentz replacing J.J. McCarthy. J.J.'s down with an ankle. And Carson Wentz, 10th year from North Dakota State University, a first-round draft pick in 2016 by the Philadelphia Eagles, taken second overall. He's a two-time FCS champion playing for the Bison. So Bismarck Century High School, listening on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network. Go crazy. Carson Wentz at the helm today, a guy who's never had a season with more interceptions than TDs. And in fact, he started 13 for the Philadelphia Eagles the season they won Super Bowl 52 in this building, but he ripped up his ACL late in the season and Nick Foles got all the money. So the Vikings have a couple deep heading to the west side of US Bank Stadium. Miles Price and Ty Felton. The kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals should be quite familiar to Minnesota Vikings fans. His name is Evan McPherson, and in his very first National Football League game at Cincinnati in 2021, he walked off on the Vikings in overtime, and then just to add salt to the proverbial wound, did the same thing to Kevin O'Connell's Vikings in 2023. Welcome to Minneapolis. We're about set to go as McPherson eyes it up, and boom! The backup ball, Browning and Wentz, is in the air. Miles Price steams up the middle on the kick to the 20, 25, 30, and he's upended right around the 35 after a return of 29 yards. Now, Carson Wentz, who wears number 11, he's the first quarterback in National Football League history to start a game 6 consecutive seasons for 6 consecutive teams. It's gone Philly, Indianapolis, Washington, the Rams, Kansas City, and now the Minnesota Vikings. Christian Darrisaw is back. The recovery plan from the ACL still very much in play, but Darrisaw is your starting left tackle. Michael Juergens is your starting center. It's 1st and 10 for the Vikings. First play of the game. Wentz will hand it to Jordan Mason. He has room left side, flag on the play. Stiff arm at the 50, and he's thrust down at the 44 after a run of 8. First offensive play of the game, and we have multiple flags on the field. Again, this staff calls the second most in the game through 2 weeks.
And unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be on the left side of our offensive line, kind of at the point of attack. So we're going to take a look here and see what they say. They're talking about it, so there might be something else going on. May have been receiver.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the defense.
Wow.
Eagan used the hands to the face. Defense number 23, that penalty is declined. Holding. Defense number 92. That penalty is 5 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Well, Dax Hill is one of their corners active. One of their starters, Cam Taylor-Britt, it's kind of negative he's not playing, Pete. I don't know what you think. You watch more film than me. But the corner who's down had 13 penalties called against him last year, 11 accepted. And I'm like, yes, it's a Ron Torbert staff. We're in business.
Yeah, I mean, and it was weird because it was Cam Taylor-Britt, and he was practicing Wednesday and then just doesn't practice on Thursday, so something happened during the week.
Justin Jefferson is wide left. He is 80 yards from becoming the 3rd receiver in Vikings history with receiving yards, and the pass will go to him right. Thielen got knocked down at the 50, and it's a Torbert staff, so there's another flag. And it'll be a gain of 1 by Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen is imploring Torbert and a couple of the officials that he didn't do anything wrong. So let's see what's up with Ben Lieber on the sideline.
Sorry,
Yeah, well, it looked like it was just a quick screen to the right, and he's in charge of blocking that corner, and I think the corner cut him. So you see Adam Thielen on the ground. He jumps up immediately. He sees the flag.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist.
There it is.
Defense number 23.
Wow.
That penalty 15 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Yeah, they changed that rule, Ben, because of the way corners used to take on the screen when an offensive lineman would come barreling out to the flat, and like Antoine Winfield Sr. would just take him out at the knee, take him out at the ankles, pop up and make the tackle. Getting another look at the play, though, it didn't look like it was much by Dax Hill. It was kind of, he went low, didn't get a lot of Adam Thielen, made a great play, but so far, 3 penalties already against the Cincinnati defense.
So the Vikings started in their part of the field, but due to a couple of penalties, now have a first down Bengals portion of the equation. And Wentz fires over the middle. It's caught by Justin Jefferson at the 15. It's a 16-yard grab. The Vikings are in the red zone inside the 20. 1st and 10 from the Cincinnati 17.
There's a route that we haven't seen much of this year, and that's just a high-low. You take Hockenson and put him on a short curl, and then against the middle open defense, it works so well with Justin Jefferson on an in route right behind him. Wentz had time, though, Paul. I think that's what's most important.
0-0 first drive of the game from U.S. Bank Stadium. Carson Wentz goes under center. Tight end Josh Oliver in motion to the left. And on first down, play action off Jordan Mason. Wentz, athletic, steps away, loops it to the end zone. Incomplete, front left of the end zone. Adam Thielen tried to make a one-handed grab, but in this Carson Wentz portion of the season, however long it goes, we're going to learn things play by play. Right there, we learned he's athletic.
He is. He likes to move around, and it's amazing. You look back at the film with him and the Rams and the number of called quarterback runs and all those kinds of things. Here's the thing about offensive and play calling, Paul, is that the Cincinnati's got an 8-man box. They're trying to stop the run, but when you get into the red zone like this, you still have to run the football at times. You can't let the defense dictate run pass by what they're lining up in.
2nd and 10 from the Cincy 17 gun run. Jordan Mason started left, bent it up right across the 15, and he's taken down at the 12. So it's a run of 5 yards for Jordan Mason, which means 2 runs, averaging 7.5 yards per run. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the Cincy 12. From a passing standpoint, Pete, the Vikings have averaged 20.5 passes per game through 2. That's the fewest in the NFL.
It is, and for Kevin O'Connell, that's the fewest that he's had as a coach as well. So we haven't been able to throw the ball much.
First 3rd down, Wentz back to pass, throws over the middle, caught. It is Josh Oliver. Touchdown! Minnesota Vikings straight down the field on the undefeated Bengals and take a 6-0 lead, led by Carson Wentz.
What a beautiful job, Paul, by Carson Wentz to be patient. It's a curl route with a flat route, and Carson Wentz just sat there and let that play develop. The curl was covered, but he knew that the linebacker was going to be transitioning to the flat. As soon as that happened, he threw that curl. Josh Oliver able to turn it up and score the touchdown. We've seen it out of Wentz twice already. He's going to be patient enough to let these routes come open.
Will Reichert for the extra point to the west side of U.S. Bank Stadium, and he remains perfect on the season. And the Vikings strike quickly. They do so in 2 minutes and small change. Great to do that on a Legend Sunday, in case any of those 98 Vikings have to be in the building. They know exactly what that looks like. On the Northland Ford dealer scoreboard, Minnesota 7, Cincinnati 0. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
Change is always happening. But no matter what changes in 5 years, there's one thing that will stay the same. The price of your internet. With the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Vikings tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So, get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Vikings.
Vikings fans, game day starts early at Mystic Lake, home of the official watch party of the Minnesota Vikings. Catch the Vikings take on Pittsburgh all the way from Ireland at 8:30 a.m. Sunday, September 28th. Enjoy food, drink specials, photo ops, a fantastic Vikings merch booth, giveaways, and appearances by Vikings cheerleaders, and the Skull Line. Vikings versus Pittsburgh from Ireland, Sunday, September 28th at 8:30 a.m. Come to the official watch party. Get details at mysticlake.com.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey, the Power Trip. You know, the good thing about our Vikings radio team, if we lose any more linebackers, we got Bursich and Lieber ready to go in. We'll break down this game tomorrow morning, 5:30 to 9 on your Minnesota Vikings morning show, The Power Trip, right here on The Fan.
Back to US Bank Stadium, it was a Josh Oliver touchdown reception in the red zone. Vikes up 7-0 on the opening drive of this game, and now as the defense takes over, guys, the US Bank player to watch, in my opinion, is Jonathan Grenard. Dude, this dude is tailor-made to go against an offensive line that is banged up. They're a little slow to get off the ball. They're kind of big, and they don't move their feet very quickly. So I think the speed off the edge and the twist game up front is really going to help him out.
Boom! Kick goes to Samaje Perine, and Jeff Okuda chopped him down violently at the 28-yard line. Thank you, Ben. Jonathan Grenard with one of the sacks the Vikings had last game. And now they face a Jake Browning-led Cincinnati Bengals offense with a 7-0 lead. Joe Burrow out for 3 months. Jake Browning has been on and off Cincy's practice squad for 4 years. He has a 4-3 record as a starter. Came into the NFL with the Vikings in 2019 on the practice squad. His tailback is Chase Brown. Then you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Toss right. Goes to Chase Brown. He swallowed up these Vikings. Your Vikings are fired up today, Pete Bursich. Jonathan Grenard with a tackle for loss, and it was with purpose.
Yeah, it was. And what impresses me, Paul, is just the line of scrimmage. We lost that battle against the Atlanta Falcons in the first quarter and a half of that football game. And after the first play, extra tight ends on one side, you run the toss, and every purple jersey was on Cincinnati's side of the football. That removes lanes, that removes edges. It's just an impressive start.
Jake Browning, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks last game, supplanting Burrow. Pass left quickly to Jamar Chase, and he runs into a couple of Vikings, and one of them was Theo Jackson, the other Byron Murphy Jr. That's just a gain of 1, which means it's 3rd and 9. And for some of the problems the Vikings have had this year, when it comes to 3rd and 6 or longer for offenses, that would be Chicago and Atlanta. Teams are 0 of 12 against Flores defense, 3rd and 6 or longer, and that's tops in the NFL. This is 3rd and technically 10. And the Bengals went on to lead 7-0 just away. Chip Browning stands tall in the shotgun, Chase on by his side. Alton has the right guard and 4 Viking looks back around for the signal. Here's the blitz. Pass goes to the right, knocked away. 3 and out. Bengals go 3 and out. Harry the hitman came on a blitz, by the way, and forced Browning to throw it early. And now, under punter Ryan Rico will boom it away off Price.
And that's the game that the Vikings defense is going to play. You bring Harrison Smith out the backside, you have Andrew McNeil getting himself in the front lane like nobody else can, and you get the short throw. You goaded him into the short throw, and so be able to break up and bat that football down. But what a great start offensively and defensively to come out and go 3 and out. Now we have some momentum, Paul. We just have to ride this wave.
Snap to Rico. He's never had a punt block from 63 now. High floater, Miles Price from the 20-yard line, far side, heads to the left of the field. He jitterbugs at the 25, and he holds onto the ball. A 6-yard return after a 51-yard punt. On the Northland Ford dealer scoreboard, Minnesota 7 with a Carson Wentz to Josh Oliver touchdown pass. Bengals 3 and out and 0 on the KFAM this Viking field. Network driven by Polaris.
It's okay, Daddy's here. Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. Josh Allen beat Daddy's team and really went off. When the game ends, Daddy's ranking will fall. And Jerkface Bill will win Fantasy League trophy and all.
Hon, have a Snickers.
Thanks.
And maybe take a break on the league chat.
You're distracted when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Show Fan Show. Mr. Cassidy, it's Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's the show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
scratch game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Every team needs a pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Anderson, the number 1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last every season. Anderson makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as you look. So, when it's scoring style points or handling buff weather, you can transfer home to Anderson, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Anderson brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersonWindows.com.
Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings are teaming up to put you in the ride of your dreams. Picture this. You behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend. Nice picture. Make it happen. Stop by your local Quick Trip, and for every $1 you spend using Quick Rewards, you'll earn a point to spend in the Vikings Fan Zone. Buy special qualifying products and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Kick off your winning season the right way with Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings. Details at quicktrip.com/fanzone.
I'm Hitman, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN. Back to Vikings football.
Seven Zip Bikes, and if you want to score big this season, purchase any Pothole Pizza or 20-ounce Pepsi or Mountain Dew product with Quick Rewards, and you're entered. A weekly winner will automatically win a $500 gift card, and if the Vikings score a touchdown of more than 50 yards that week or this week, one lucky fan wins $5,000. QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details. Carson Wentz at the helm, 3 of 4, 29 yards, and a touchdown to Josh Oliver, and now the handoff goes to Jordan Mason, supplanting Aaron Jones, who's out for an unspecified amount of time with a hamstring injury. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, for Jordan Mason, Paul, this, you have, if anybody has any questions as to whether or not he can handle being the starter, well, he did in the beginning last year for San Francisco and had a great beginning to the season. But he's just a guy that's going to wear the defense out a little bit, right? He's not going to be breaking these huge runs in the beginning. You got to continue to be patient, be able to hand him the football, and start to wear out the guys against him.
Here's his 4th run, and he will squirt through the line of scrimmage. T.J. Slayton Jr., the former Packer, claiming he was held by Christian Darrisaw. But Ron Torbert's staff says no, so that's a gain of 3. And on the pregame, right in front of the game with Kevin O'Connell, he used a term to describe Jordan Mason that I can't remember him using in those interviews. Pete, he said he'll be a bell cow today. He already has 4.
Right, they plan to use him. But you have a quarterback in Carson Wentz, his first start in a long, long time. All those things point to having a good, solid running game.
Minnesota 1 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 4. Wentz works out of the shotgun, flags. Perhaps T.J. Hawkinson, 87.
Full start. Offense number 71.
Oh, Darrisaw.
Penalty. Start down.
Well, they're opposite Trey Hendrickson, who has 17.5 sacks each of the last 2 years. And through 2 games already, he has 2 sacks. Now, their first-round rookie, Shamar Stewart, who they like a lot, a defensive end, he's out. And the Miles Murphy, along with a Cam Sample, will be replacing him. 3rd down, 3rd and 9 now from the 27. Minnesota with 7-0. Carson Wentz out of the shotgun. T.J. Hawkinson in motion from the right to the left. Wentz takes a snap, 4-man rush, gets away from the pressure, that goes to the left, hold on to the ball, Carson, as you are sacked, and sacked back at the 17-yard line. One of several Bengals involved, Chris Jenkins Jr., 2nd year from Michigan, and now we're punting.
Yeah, and remember how we got here, right? A couple good efficient runs, and then you false start, put you back at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and now that gives Cincinnati the opportunity to show blitz and then drop out of it. I think that Wentz had some options. He had Adam Thielen in the middle of the field, because Adam just settled up, but by that time, Carson Wentz had to get rid of it.
All right, now this punt and kick returner, Charlie Jones for them.
Ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
Minnesota deserves a go-to destination for all things high school sports in our state. All the scores, the stories, the stats, live streams, social feeds, photos, personalized team pages, breaking news. One place for everything you're looking for. That's why the Minnesota Star Tribune is launching Strip Varsity. You'll find Minnesota Star Tribune journalism, Minnesota Prep Hub stats and schedules, streams, stories, and more. Strip Varsity is Minnesota's new home for complete high school sports coverage. Sign up today at startribune.com/stripvarsity.
When the game is over, it's time to relax. No matter if it's a win or loss, you always win at Spalon Montage, the Twin Cities' premier salon and spa destination for over 25 years. With convenient locations in Edina, Woodbury, and Chanhassen, there's a Spalon close to you. Right now, football fans, you can get a bonus when you give the gift of Spalon. Purchase a $175 gift certificate and receive a $25 gift certificate for yourself. Visit Spalon.com now or call 952-915-2900.
Hey Vikings fans, I'm Sarah, the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders. Here's our best kept secret, Pure Luxe Med Spa. Laser hair removal at Pure Luxe is a game changer. Voted best med spa and laser hair removal by the Star Tribune. They keep us game day ready with Botox, filler, and our favorite, the Diamond Glow Facial. Visit mypurelux.com/goal to book your appointment today. Pure Luxe Med Spa, the preferred med spa for the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders.
Every Tuesday at 11, Vikings head coach Ken O'Donnell will fall online from the TCO studio right here on Audio Home for Fight Ball. KFN, the fan.
Scoreboard Central. KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
For the Vikings, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen, that's who. Like saving live broadcasts from lag time, helping deliver the in-stadium experience for fans with millions more around the globe, and bringing all the benefits of the cloud to your network, so it's as secure as a defensive line and as legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Services not available everywhere.
Hi, I'm Amy Hockert with Fox 9. Have you downloaded Fox Local yet? Fox Local is how you stream Fox 9 on your TV or your phone for free. You can watch all of our newscasts, original programming, and all your Gopher and Viking shows.
And welcome back to Vikings Game Day Live. We'll take a look at JJ.
So download Fox Local on your TV or your phone and stay connected to Fox 9 with Fox Local for free.
From coin flip to final whistle, show your diehard passion for your Minnesota Vikings all season long with your favorite purple and gold gear from Shields. Bring your best this year, whether you're cheering from US Bank Stadium or from your living room with your favorite jerseys, hats, collectibles, and Vikings branded gear from the Shields fan shop. Visit us at your local Shields or Shields.com and let's cheer on the Vikings. Shields, proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings and football fans everywhere.
This is Vikings Bengals live from US Bank Stadium on The Fan. Here's Paul Allen.
Jake Browning has thrown 2 pick sixes in his career. The last was 2023 versus Indianapolis into the arms of Ronnie Harrison. And the former Colt, also Isaiah Rodgers, with his first interception since 2021 when he was a Colt, and his first pick six, runs the Minnesota Vikings to a 14-0 lead. Assist, Pete, goes to Harrison Smith. Welcome back, Tip Man.
Absolutely, the Tip Man. He was the one, the ball was on its way to Chase Brown, and it might have just gotten there, but Harry got a piece of it and just deflected it enough for Isaiah Rodgers to pick it off.
The kick goes to Charlie Jones, the speedster, near side, 2025, return of 22. And the Bengals come back on offense, trailing 14-0. That interception, by the way, activated a BOGO ball from Caribou Coffee. Tomorrow only, you can get a buy one drink and get one free with promo code BOGOBALL25 in the Caribou Coffee app. If you want more information, visit Vikings.com/Caribou. Jake Browning replacing Joe Burrow. Bad toe, out 3 months. Former Viking Brett Rippon is Browning's backup. Pistol formation. Brown behind Browning. Handoff goes to Chase as they try to stabilize things. He heads to the left side. Jonathan Allen wraps him up. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
And Paul, Dallas Turner's still in there for Alex Van Ginkel. So you're seeing the platooning, and I think that's the biggest part for Dallas Turner, is to be able to get as many snaps, the base snaps, during in the course of a football game, first and second downs. It's going to allow them to do some rotating with Van Ginkel and Grenard, and that's what you want out of your first-round selection.
2nd and 8 from the Cincinnati 27. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Last time Jake Browning threw the ball, it went to number 2. He went 87 the right way, so they're going to run 2 times in a row. Handoff Chase Brown. Dallas Turner was one of 2 along with Jonathan Allen to get him at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It's 3rd and 8. And remember, teams are now 0 for 13 against the Minnesota Vikings this year at 3rd and 6 or longer. This is 3rd and 8.
Yeah, 3rd and long is not. Cincinnati's actually done a pretty good job on 3rd down with their offense. Paul, they're 6th in the league. It's just their 3rd down situations have been in this scenario. Last time, we all out-blitzed them. We'll see what happens this time.
Bengals 0 of 1 on 3rd down overall. 3rd and 8, Browning shotgun. Chase Brown can catch it. No Samaje Perines in the game. He has no runs this year. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Browning facing a four-man rush. And Jonathan Grenard spun away from somebody, nearly got Browning, but set it up for Van Ginkel. Andrew Van Ginkel's first sack of the season forces the Cincinnati Bengals to punt again. And we're about 11 minutes into this game. Cincinnati has no first downs.
No, they don't. It was Jonathan Grenard on an underneath stunt, Paul, and we're getting pressure out of a four-man rush between Van Ginkel, Grenard, Jonathan Allen. Those guys up front are able to put the amount of pressure that Flores wants to on the opposing quarterback without having to take guys out of coverage. Browning had nowhere to go with that football.
Covenant cleanup. Cincinnati has 2 first downs but no points. Here's the punt. Miles Price heads to the right side, 30, 35, stutter step into the 38, juke at the 40, dodges ahead to the 44. And the Minnesota Vikings, with a 14-0 lead, have excellent field position with 3:46 to go in the first quarter. They have an offensive touchdown, Wentz to Josh Oliver, and a defensive touchdown, a pick six by Isaiah Rodgers, and the ball near midfield. What a great Sunday on the KFA and Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris. Our friends at TimberTech have a checklist at the website for those of you desiring a deck. Go to timbertech.com, get started there. And after you go through the checklist of what to do with the decking and to find a contractor and everything, get yourself some samples. You'll love them. They'll send them to you for free, timbertech.com. And finally, when you work with those contractors, you will recognize TimberTech works with only the best. So if you need a deck with deck durability, start at timbertech.com.
You're listening to Vikings football.
Martin Marietta, an American-based company, is a leading producer of heavy building materials and the top supplier of aggregates and asphalt to the Twin Cities. Guided by values like safety, integrity, and stewardship, Martin Marietta strives to provide the materials on which our communities grow. Visit martinmarietta.com to learn more. Interested in a career with a rock-solid team offering competitive pay and benefits? Visit careersthatcrush.com to apply today. Skol Vikings!
That is the sound of bacon sizzling, of fresh vegetables being chopped for a made-to-order omelet, and the grill being fired up for one of the juiciest burgers around. Hungry yet? Hy-Vee Market Grill is better than ever, with mouth-watering new menu items for breakfast and lunch. Whether you dine in, get it to go, or have it delivered, the best breakfast and lunch is at Hy-Vee Market Grill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
When football season kicks off, everything else takes a backseat to sports-venience. That's sports convenience. Running errands? Not sports-venient. Cooking dinner? Not sports-venient. But shopping online is now extra sports-venient thanks to Paze, a fast online checkout offered by banks and credit unions. With Paze, there's no typing in card numbers at checkout, and cards stay in one place, so you don't have to leave the couch. In the name of sports-venience, try Paze today. Learn more at paze.com.
We are rubes like you, and we talk Vikings football every day, too. Join us weekdays 9 to noon. Now back to Vikings football.
Welcome back to the game. Vikings up 14-0 on the Cincinnati Bengals. Guys, going back to that last sack by Van Ginkel, I would just want to let everybody know that Harrison Smith's impact is being felt immediately. He had a tipped ball that led to the pick six by Isaiah Rodgers, and he was the point guy in that disguise, back off, drop into coverage. He was up at the line of scrimmage, and then at the last moment, jets all the way back to the center field and caused all the confusion that allowed the pressure up front.
Wentz on a deep drop, looks down the field, sees nothing, possibly recognizing discretion is the better part of valor. So he'll take a sack. He held that ball a long time, and it's a loss of 4. I believe Joseph Osai, who's going to play a lot more than he usually does today with Shamar Stewart down. That would be his first sack of the season. So it's 2nd and 15. Vikes lead 14-0.
Yeah, only the 4th sack of the season for Cincinnati. So, you know, they've had trouble getting there. Wentz did have time, Paul. It's just, he just, for whatever reason, didn't want to pull the trigger. He pumped the ball once or twice and then decided to pull it thing down, so something scared him from throwing it.
2nd and 15 from the Vikings 38. Jalen Naylor in motion to the right. They fake a gun run, whip it out to Speedy. Caught at the 43. Jalen Naylor will speed ahead to the 45. Pushed out of bounds at the 46. It's a catch and run of 8 yards, making it 3rd and reasonable, 3rd and 6.
Well, when we talk about this Vikings offense and just the inconsistency and the lack of plays a lot of that has to do with being consistent and stacking good plays. A few drives ago, getting 2 good runs, then we get a penalty, then we get the third down mix-up. This time, lost yardage play on a sack. We've got to minimize those mistakes to keep the chains moving.
3rd and 7, Minnesota 1 of 2 on 3rd down, leading 14-0 deep in the first quarter. Wentz takes the snap, wearing number 11, straight drop. Now he gets athletic, floats out to the left, pumps, fakes, runs, 45, taken down at the 47-yard line. Carson Wentz taken down ahead of the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be one of the big ones for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's Myles Murphy, who's been kind of a disappointment for them. He was a first-round pick in 2023, 3rd year from Clemson. He has 0 sacks in 2 years, but he's playing a lot more today because their first-rounder, Shamar Stewart, is down.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of those names, like you said, like guys like Cam Sample and Chris Jenkins are getting a lot of time today, so that the full accoutrement of the defensive line from Cincinnati is on the field.
Ryan Wright, end over end. Charlie Jones calls for a fair catch at the 6-yard line.
Wow.
Ryan Wright is on an influential run right now. His punting has been fantastic ever since the final punt of the game at Soldier Field. That now is his 3rd inside the 20. And you and Ben both having played special teams when you play. I was told earlier that they made a change to Ryan Wright's approach to games, where they used to work a certain way with him Wednesday and Thursday. They changed it to Wednesday and Friday with extensive work on Friday because they believe the closer to the game, the more he can visualize it, and it's working.
Yeah, when you said change to his approach, I thought you were just going to say he needs to take things more seriously. But apparently they've changed the way he's gone about it, and that's been the criticism from Kevin O'Connell on the kicking game is just, we get the boomers, but when we need to pin a team back and get him in the corner, we've been very sketchy at that. But this is huge for time. It's a huge thing for field position.
Jake Browning's pinned back to his own 6. Harrison Smith out of the game. Ivan Pace comes in with fury, so they run up the middle. Levi Drake Rodriguez, 2nd year, throws him back for a loss of 2 at 2nd and 12. And out of that break, I'm really glad Ben brought up Harrison Smith, who comes back into the game. You see, Harrison tipped a pass. Isaiah Rodgers picked it off, went 87 to the house. Harrison probably crestfallen he couldn't play in the first 2 games. He's playing his 193rd game today, 14th year from Notre Dame. He's Minnesota Vikings immortality, and it took him about 5 seconds to help the cause. Welcome back, Hitman. 2nd down, Browning looking to throw from his end zone, avoids a safety. Dallas Turner's all over him, so he's going to get outside the tackle box and flip it and throw it away. It'll be an incomplete pass. And now it's 3rd and 12, and this Minnesota Vikings defense, reminiscent to what we expected like from last year with all the sacks and interceptions and tackles for loss. I mean, it's absolutely obliterating this Bengals offense.
Yeah, we're just quicker than the Cincinnati offensive line. You watch Jalen Redmond against Ted Karras, their center. He's just marching them back. I mean, we're dominating the line of scrimmage right now.
Cincy 0 of 2 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 12 from its 5. Jake Browning takes the snap, hands it to Chase Brown. He'll shake up the middle across the 10, driving Vikings to the 15. Chase got to the 17-yard line. That's a run of 11 yards. He barely missed the first down, where it looked like it'd be a run of about 7 or 8. So now Zach Taylor, the long-tenured Cincinnati Bengals coach, in urgency-like fashion, he's going to keep the offense on the field. But, we're going to have a virtual measurement. First virtual measurement of the season, ladies and gentlemen. One of the officials holds the ball down so 6 cameras can triangulate, and then everybody in the crowd, including us, gets to see the super special video game that shows us if it's a first down or not.
And if you're here, I think the funniest part is they put the ball down where they spotted it, and then everybody just gets about 10 yards away from it. So the football is just literally...
The back judge held it down, and one of the officials had to come up to him and say, you don't have to hold it. They don't have wind in here.
And we can virtually measure this any time now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
That's going to take a little bit here.
But, Paul, I mean, think about this. That's hoisting the white flag, and then you allow them to get close to getting the first down. So if they allow this first down, I mean, that's just not completing what you're setting out to do. That's 2 good plays, and then you fall asleep on another one. So not a great way to end that drive.
Well, play like a Viking at Mystic Lake, your game day headquarters. Win Vikings prizes all season. Enjoy live music at the Twin Cities' newest sports bar, Hop House. It is mysticlake.com. What's happening right now? The Vikings have an offensive and defensive touchdown. Pick six, Isaiah Rodgers. Passing touchdown, Wentz to Josh Oliver. They lead 14-0, 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is 4th and 1 according to the board in here. But we have a virtual measurement taking place, and I think we're into the second minute now. Waiting for Space and Galaga Centipede. Waiting for the video game presentation to hit the big screens here.
Well, yeah, this is This is a problem. I mean, for just the game itself. I mean, stoppages of the game are something the NFL wants to avoid, and this is getting kind of crazy. Well, I will say this though: if it is 4th down, I wonder whether or not they'll keep the offense out. If they do, defensive line wise, you just need to stay on sides. Don't give them anything easy or cheap. And if they do decide to,
are you kidding me, with this virtual measurement?
Risk it and go for it, then that gives you a little bit of an insight into Zach Taylor and what he's thinking. They're not desperate yet, but man,
here we go.
That's pretty aggressive.
Screen changed at U.S. Bank Stadium. Virtual measurement. No, they just got bored with it too, so they went to filler.
After the virtual measurement, it is short of the line to gain.
We don't get to see what happened to the video game everybody was supposed to get to see. All right. Well, probably would have been done a minute and a half, maybe a minute 45 earlier with the old chain gang. So, Zach Taylor, he's going to challenge the spot. Isn't this great? Wait 3.5 minutes for a virtual measurement nobody can see, and then you get a challenge of the spot. And this is Ben Lieber. This is just flowing swimmingly.
Yeah, I don't need to pile on to the NFL here with this ridiculous virtual measurement. You know, we could have had the chain gang out there and back and resume play. But I will say this before we get into any of that, is I do think it was a bad spot. I was standing very close to the ball carrier in the field when he went down. And to me, it looked like that he did cross that line to gain.
Right.
And I think this is a good challenge. I mean, it's a good opportunity to challenge, and I actually think they're going to win.
Ben, you know Harrison Smith better than all of us. So obviously, without sharing where bones are buried, when I say he probably was crestfallen or super saddened that he couldn't play the first 2 weeks, is that accurate? And where does it help from a nuance standpoint having him back?
Well, of course, I know that he's very disappointed that he wasn't able to play. And, I know last week it was probably a good chance that he was going to, but then out of an abundance of caution, they held him out. As far as the way he's impacted the game, I mean, we all know that he's sort of the trigger guy for this very mobile and deceptive defense. So often where he's showing one thing, 20 yards away, then coming down into the box or at the line of scrimmage and blitzing from depth, or doing the opposite that we saw on that Van Ginkel sack, where he's at the line of scrimmage, and then it's off of his trigger and his movement that the defense adjusts. So, truly being the catalyst for the way this defense moves around pre-snap. And then we saw on the pick six, just his spatial awareness, his understanding of where he's supposed to break off his coverage and affect the play.
After reviewing the play, when the runner's shin hit the ground, the ball was at the line to gain.
Oh.
It'll be a first down for Cincinnati.
Yeah, nice call.
Cincinnati will not be charged with a timeout. They have earned a third challenge for the game.
Regardless of what you think of the call, Paul, that's embarrassing to have a team 3rd and 12.
I agree.
And then they throw the white flag up and just hand the ball off. I mean, it's not like we're playing Leroy Horde. I mean, for goodness sake.
Or Icky Woods.
Bring the guy to the ground.
Well, that's the first down the Vikings have given up this year on 3rd and 6 or longer. And it was 3rd and 12, and they got it. 14-0 Vikings, 28 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clock's running. Jake Browning, pistol formation, play action to Samaje Perine. Ivan paces all over him. He gets the pass off right to Noah Fant, and Eric Wilson stops all that nonsense at the 20. That's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
The defense right now, Paul, is putting consistent pressure on Jake Browning. Every time he's getting back, minus the 3-step drop, he's just under pressure.
Beautiful first quarter, Minnesota Vikings fans. Offensive touchdown, Wentz to Oliver. Defensive touchdown, 87-yard pick six by Isaiah Rodgers. The longest for the Vikings since Xavier Rhodes in 2016. 14-0 Minnesota when we return for second quarter action. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
It's okay, Daddy's here. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. Josh Allen beat Daddy's team and really went off. When the game ends, Daddy's ranking will fall. And Jerkface Bill will win Fantasy League trophy and all.
Hon, have a Snickers.
Thanks.
And maybe take a break from the league chat.
You're distracted when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
She's Jan, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jan Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Metro Transit and the Minnesota Vikings make game day stress-free. Join fellow fans and take Metro Transit to the game. North Star will service all games with Metro blue and green lines and multiple bus routes to carry you the final yard, straight to the gates of US Bank Stadium. No need to worry about parking or downtown traffic. Make your round trip easy with the all-day pass. No standing in line for a ticket after the game. Find your game plan at metrotransit.org/Vikings.
Every team needs a top pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Anderson, the #1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last through every season, Anderson makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. So whether it's scoring style points or tackling tough weather, you can trust your home to Anderson, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Anderson brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersonWindows.com.
Vikings talk continues all day tomorrow, beginning with the Power Trip, then PA, Common, and Dan Barrero. All live tomorrow on iHeartRadio and FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Ben Lieber, Pete Persich, Paul Allen, Jake Browning at quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Vikings lead 14-0 into the second quarter. Jake from under center, play action, deep drop. Dallas Turner and Jonathan Allen are all over him, so he throws it out of bounds right side. Barely got outside the tackle box too. But that's been a common thread, Pete, for the first quarter of this game, saying quickly, this guy and this guy are all over the quarterback. We just hadn't gotten that enough.
You're right. And Josh Metellus, Paul, doing a wonderful job. He's the flat defender on that play. As soon as he recognizes the play action, he turns and sprints to get under T. Higgins, which is exactly where Browning wanted to go. So great job in the back end of his defense as well.
Cincy 1 of 3 on third down, 3rd and 7 from its own 20. Browning working out of the shotgun. Samaje Perine to his right. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Flores rushes 4. Browning straight drop throws right. Somebody forgot to cover Jamar Chase. And it's a first down for Cincinnati at the 36-yard line. It's a 16-yard hit. Jeff Okudah, who missed last week with a concussion, he was closest to him. Oh, there's a flag. There's a flag back by Browning, and Jake looks negative.
Yeah, Jeff Okudah just got turned around. Wow.
Holding. Offense number 63. Kenyon Kennedy. Third down.
That's their rookie left guard, third rounder Dylan Fairchild. So now the Bengals are amassing penalties by the bunches. And again, if you missed the beginning of the game, the referees Ron Torbert, he and his staff through 2 games averaged 10.5 penalties a game. And that's second most in the NFL. They have 3 penalties for 30 yards. 2 were on one of their corners, Dax Hill, on the same possession. The Vikings scored with Carson Wentz to Josh Oliver. So now it's 3rd and 17. Jamar Chase in motion to the right, back to the left. T. Higgins also on that side. T has no receptions. They're going to run it. They're going to hoist the white flag, assumedly. Handoff Perine right into the arms of Eric Wilson and Theo Jackson and Jeff Okudah. No gain. So now the punter, who is Ryan Rico, Second-year BYU is into punt to Miles Price. Vikes lead 14-0.
What a great job by the Vikings defense so far, Paul. I mean, Jake Browning is on a 10.7 rating right now. 3 of 7, 14 yards, and a pick 6. And they've, outside of that 1 3rd and long draw play that they let Cincinnati convert, I mean, they have been dominant. And Cincinnati's not helping themselves out with penalties, and they've amassed at least 4 or 5 of them already.
Rico's never had a punt blocked. He'll let this one fly from the goal stripe. Bad punt. Terrible punt. Cincinnati's going pear-shaped. Wow. That thing went out of bounds at about the 46, 47-yard line, depending on where side Judge Guy wants to put it, which Ben Lieber.
Yeah, about a quarter and a half of play, and Christian Darrisaw in at left tackle, and I've been watching him quite a few times. I would say about 3/4 of the pass attempts, he's got help to his left side. It could be a tight end, it could be Adam Thielen at times, but they are doing all they can schematically to give him just a little bit of help. And I would say, like, his feet, his footwork, not quite as quick as he is when he's 100%, but they're doing all they can to give him some help out there.
2nd and 10 from the Cincy 21. Hawkinson in motion to the right. Jordan Mason returns to the game. Handoff, Jordan, stutter step, heads left. Hit by Jordan Battle at the 18. He falls ahead to the 17, so that's a run of 4. And now it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Vikings with fewer than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Thielen in, Josh Oliver out, and Carson Wentz in his Minnesota Vikings debut, 5 of 7, 50 yards, and a touchdown to Josh Oliver.
Yeah, and Carson Wentz has looked good, Paul. He's showing patience. He's getting time, but he's showing some patience to let some of these routes come open, and his experience in leading an offense is showing.
Minnesota 2 of 4 on 3rd down. Mason motions to the backfield to the left of Carson Wentz, 10th year NDSU. Takes the snap. Safety blitz. Wentz to the end zone. Incomplete. Flag, check that. Naylor tried to make a one-handed catch. The pass was behind Jalen, nearly intercepted by Cincinnati. So Will Riker is in for a field goal try. He's 4 of 4 this season.
And credit Cincinnati. That was a very good blitz. They had a free rusher to the quarterback, and Wentz just threw that ball a little bit behind Naylor, hung in there, took a hit. So almost intercepted, close. But credit Cincinnati. They ran the right blitz at the right time, and they had a free guy up in Wentz's face.
Andrew DePaula snaps to Ryan Wright. Will Riker kicking to the east side of U.S. Bank Stadium. 35-yard try, left hash. Snap spot. Riker's kick is good. And Minnesota has a 17-0 lead. That Vikings field goal means another donation to Field Goals for Charity, courtesy of Innovated and Post-it Brand. This program benefits NMDP, a leader in cell therapy. Visit nmdp.org/Vikings to make a difference. Minnesota leads 17-0, 9.5 minutes to go in the first half, and this right here is Minnesota Vikings football.
Change is always happening, but no matter what changes in 5 years, there's one thing that will stay the same: the price of your internet. With the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi, with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
When it comes to managing your blood pressure, you play to win. You've made changes to your diet. You stay active. You've followed your doctor's game plan to the letter. But when it comes to your health, you can't always tackle it alone. Go beyond typical treatments with a Simplicity blood pressure procedure. Brought to you by Medtronic, official sponsor of the Vikings. Talk to your doctor. Results may vary. Adverse events include but are not limited to temporary pain and bruising. Read important risk factor information at beyondhbp.com.
Vikings fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home for exclusive coverage of your favorite local teams. And there are more ways to watch this season. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream your hometown teams. Or watch through a TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details.
With its smart, sustainable water solutions, Pentair helps the world move, improve, and enjoy water, life's most essential resource. From great-tasting water for homes and businesses, to energy-efficient pumping solutions, and everywhere in between, Pentair is focused on driving innovation that helps people and the planet thrive. Visit Pentair.com to learn how. Pentair, the official sustainable water partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm Justin Jefferson, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN, back to Vikings football.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Vikings football.
The radio home of the Minnesota Vikings. FM 100.3, KFXM Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Fan.
Boom! Will Riker's kick after he hit a field goal goes down to the 1, and Bulldog Samaje Perine to the right side, 15-20, and Ivan Pace Jr. throws him down at the 25 as we head down to Ben Lieber for some injury news.
Yeah, unfortunate injury update on our Vikings defense. Javon Hargrave is now listed as questionable in this game with a chest injury. That just means that we're going to have the D-line dignitary LDR, Levi Drake Rodriguez, get a lot more action today.
And Levi Drake Rodriguez deserves more action. He finished last week's game with what he thought was a half sack, but we had the dreaded stat correction middle of the week, and they gave the full thing to Dallas Turner. 17-0 Minnesota, first down for Cincinnati, pistol formation. Jake Browning eludes pressure, and he'll throw to the right side. It's a fastball to Noah Fant, caught at the 25. That's a 2-yard gain. That'll make it 2nd and 8 for Cincinnati. Jake Browning, practice squad Vikings beginning in 2019. 3 of 7, 14 yards, and an 87-yard pick six to Isaiah Rodgers.
Well, the Vikings have been able to get pressure on Browning, get him out of the pocket, get him moving around, and that's where he's more mistake-prone. So Zach Taylor, the head coach and coordinator for the Bengals, is trying to get him some shorter throws, try to get him back in some kind of rhythm.
Van Ginkel getting a breather. Renard and Dallas Turner in, and the handoff goes to Chase Brown up the middle between the hash marks across the 30, and he's taken down at the 30 or 31-yard line by Jalen Redmond. It's a run of 3. It's 3rd and 5 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
As Jonathan Allen and Alex Van Ginkel get the run back on the field, so you're going to get your regular group up front, and those 4 guys, Paul, have done a great job getting pressure on Browning with just a 4-man rush. We've shown some blitz. Yeah, we have blitz, but not as much as I think we have in the recent past.
Cincy 25% on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 5 from its own 30. Browning shotgun, Chase Brown to the right. The Vikings rush 4. Browning fires one over the middle, caught by T. Higgins at the 45, first down, and now they're going to add 15 to it because they're going to say Jeff Okuda with unnecessary roughness, the old helmet to helmet. So that's going to be a 15-yard catch to the 45, but the penalty will put Cincinnati at the 40 of the Vikings.
Well, they missed the helmet to helmet earlier. I think it was Dax Hill that hit Carson Wentz in the face on that 3rd down incompletion. So here we go.
Personal foul, illegal use of the helmet by the defense, number 8. 15-yard added to the end of the play. First down.
We got Taylor Heisey from the Minnesota Frost taking in the game with us here in the box. That's a hockey player. She's like, they got a little physicality go here, but that's seriously, looking at it, I mean, it was harder shoulder to helmet, but the helmet did hit the helmet.
You're right. They just hear something, and I think they're just throwing the flag in that regard. It wasn't blatant. It wasn't targeting. It wasn't any of those things. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's what the NFL has become. But here's the thing. Cincinnati's past the 50-yard line, Paul. The defense, you want to tighten things up here.
Browning, shotgun, 1st and 10. Vikings 40. His team's getting shut out. He's going to flip it to Jamar Chase, heading left to right, and the speedster from LSU turns it up at the line of scrimmage, but he only gets a yard, maybe 2. Jamar will run on you, by the way. He had 17 receiving touchdowns last year, and he has at least 3 runs this year. But his NFL debut was inauspicious for the Minnesota Vikings. 2021 first game for Jamar Chase in Cincinnati, first game of the year. 5 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. He and Justin Jefferson in 2019 at LSU, they combined for 38 receiving touchdowns, most in the history of FBS between 2 guys. Tinsley in motion to the left, quick hitter. It's Chase Brown outside the numbers. Ooh, he's fast. To the 35 near the sideline to the 30. Lowers the helmet, puts a boom on a Viking. Gain of 9, first down Cincinnati, and they're starting to get a little mojo right here, Peter.
Yeah, and for some reason, Dallas Turner just kind of stopped running. I don't know if he expected a cutback or what, but you got to keep going. I mean, when offenses run these jet sweeps and these quick throws, it's just like a running play on the outside, and everybody has to maintain their gap, and you have to have inside-out pursuit, and that's for Dallas Turner. You can't slow down. You got to keep going.
First and 10 for Cincinnati from the Vikings 28. Handoff, Chase Brown. He tries the right side, jump cuts to the left, and he does so into a host of Vikings led by Ivan Pace, loss of 1. So now Ivan has that TFL. He had that wonderful open field tackling kick coverage or punt coverage, and he had a rough game last week. Nice to see him respond like this.
Right, and I think he was physical last game. He just wasn't wrapping up and finishing the tackles, and I think it's a subtle difference, Paul, between the cutback and not letting the running back go north and south on the cutback. But today we've really kept Chase Brown hemmed up.
Second and 11 from the Vikings 29. Browning bouncing around in the pocket, rolls out to the right. Josh Metellus in hot pursuit. Pass over the middle is caught, but it's for just a gain of 2. Pete, that one was caught by Andre Yoshibash.
Yeah, Yoshibash had a big drop last week, so he's able to come up. Jake Browning had some time on that one, Paul, but the pursuit eventually falls in. You have Josh Metellus chasing him down, and really Eric Wilson plays the pass as well as any linebacker that we've had. So I don't think we're missing much with Blake Cashman being out because Eric Wilson's so good.
Cincy 2 of 5 on third down, 3rd and 9 from the Vikings 29. 2 receivers left. Jamar Chase solo alone to the right. Jake Browning out of the shotgun, play stoppage. We're going to have a timeout on the field taken by the Cincinnati Bengals. Big third down for them. 17-0 Minnesota. Carson Wentz on the Vikings' first drive of the game. A couple of penalties on corner. Dax Hill helped, but nevertheless, Wentz closed it with a beautiful touchdown pass to Josh Oliver. Then the Bengals go 3 and out. Eventually, on the Bengals' second offensive possession, Jake Browning threw it the way of Harrison Smith. Welcome back, Hitman. He tipped it, and Isaiah Rodgers picked it off near sideline in front of the Vikings bench and went 87 to the house for his first interception since 2021. Will Reichard with a field goal. He's 5 of 5 this year. And Minnesota leads 17-0. And out of the 30-second timeout, 3rd and 9 from the Vikings, 27 for the Cincinnati Bengals, wearing all white uniforms with the orange helmets. Browning facing a blitz. Fade. T. Higgins to the end zone. Incomplete. Covered by Isaiah Rodgers. No flags. T. Higgins is not complaining for a flag. And Isaiah Rodgers, by far, is playing his best game wearing the purple.
Oh, and that's why you brought him in, right? To go against the bigger-bodied wide receiver and make plays like that. So just one-on-one in space. Browning, that's what Browning does. He sees that one-on-one with T. Higgins. He's going to throw that football. Isaiah Rodgers there to make a brilliant play. So great job by the defense in shutting down what little momentum Cincinnati has.
Evan McPherson, 5th-year Gator, 2 of 2 this year. He's one of the best kickers in the NFL. 17-0 Minnesota. Snap spot on the 45-yard try. Right-footed kick is good, and Cincinnati has scored. 4:42 to go in the first half. Minnesota 17, Cincinnati 3. A National Football League scoreboard is next on the KFA and Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings are teaming up to put you in the ride of your dreams. Picture this. You behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend. Nice picture. Make it happen. Stop by your local Quick Trip, and for every dollar you spend using Quick Rewards, you'll earn a point to spend in the Vikings Fan Zone. Buy special qualifying products and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Kick off your winning season the right way with Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings. Details at quicktrip.com/fanzone.
For the Vikings, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen, that's who. Like saving live broadcasts from lag time, helping deliver the in-stadium experience for fans with millions more around the globe, and bringing all the benefits of the cloud to your network. So it's as secure as a defensive line and as legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Services not available everywhere.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey, the Power Trip Morning Show. Does anybody know that the Bengals bring some Skyline chili out of Cincinnati? If so, give me a three-way, hold the onions. We'll break down this game and more tomorrow morning on the Power Trip 5:30 to 9 with Ben Lieber right here on The Fan.
Scoreboard Central.
Brought to you by the Minnesota Lottery. You can play the new Viking scratch game from the Minnesota Lottery for a chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. Stafford to Adams, 44-yard touchdown. Rams are up over the Eagles, 16-7. Next week, we take on the Steelers in Dublin. Gainwell with a 1-yard touchdown. Rodgers to Metcalf for a 12-yarder. The Steelers are up over the Pats, 14-7. Packers, Browns. Packers up 3, Rip, and Mariota runs one in. Commanders are up over the Raiders, 10-3. Now back to PA.
Thanks, Mus. Pete?
Yes, Paul.
You know what's, we have a defensive touchdown, all right? So things get quirky and wonky with time of possession and stuff like that when you have a defensive touchdown. But the Minnesota Vikings into the game have run, on average, 15 and a half fewer plays than the adversary in the first two games, and it's working on Kevin O'Connell's last nerve. So you pop open team stats today, and you're like, it's got to be different, right? Cincinnati's run 25 plays, Minnesota 21.
Right, and the time of possession, I think, is still in favor of Cincinnati. They've had it for over 3 minutes more than the Vikings have, but it's a little bit of different animal when you're getting pick sixes.
Here comes Miles Price on the kickoff to the 15-20, bends it to the right side, hit at the 25, down at the 27, and that's where Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings will take over. Wentz has a touchdown pass, and Vikings fans, McDonald's has teamed with the Minnesota Vikings to bring you the tastiest season ever. Get a free Big Mac each time the Vikings score 2 touchdowns. Hey, you get a free Big Mac, $2 minimum purchase, required taste of victory, and the Vikings have 2 touchdowns today, so enjoy. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half, 17-3 Minnesota. Movement up front, right side of the Vikings offensive line.
False start. Offense number 87. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Hawkinson.
Yeah, it's been like every drive we've had something along those lines. Again, Paul, these lose games for you. Yeah, I mean, in summary, if you get a lot of them, yeah, but we're just making it so much harder to do our jobs, right? You still have a new quarterback. Granted, he's a veteran, but man, you can't keep overcoming all these mistakes.
Wentz 5 of 8, 50 yards and a touchdown. Shotgun throws to his left side, incomplete. Looking for Justin Jefferson, and he was covered by D.J. Turner II, one of the 3 who play most at corner for Cincinnati. Cam Taylor-Britt, one of the other 3, is out. So they're using Dax Hill and Josh Newton. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Much more in the way of pistol, shotgun, and a quick passing game with Carson Wentz. Much more so than they've done with anything with J.J. McCarthy so far this year. So they're playing to Carson Wentz's strengths.
Trey Hendrickson stands up opposite Christian Darrisaw to the left of Carson Wentz, who takes a handoff, throws it to Jefferson. Out of the slot, speeds outside the number 20 to the 25, and he's taken down at the 26. Catch and run of 8 yards by Justin Jefferson, so now it's 3rd and 7.
And this is an important conversion, a sneaky important conversion with about 4 minutes left to go before the end of the half, Paul, is keep this offense on the field. Don't have to punt and then put our defense back on the field to close out the half. So big time 3rd down play right here.
The Vikings are 2 of 5 on 3rd down, 3rd and 7 from their own 26 with a 14-point lead approaching halftime.
Come on.
Michael Juergens opposite Trey Hendrickson with a false start. Hendrickson, he's a tough customer.
False start. Offense number 65.
Yeah, Juergens.
5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing on that play because he was pointing, and at the same time he goes to snap the football. It's like it doesn't really make any sense. If you're checking a protection or doing something like that, you're not going to snap the ball while you're pointing it out to the rest of your offensive linemen. So
the 5th penalty, Pete, on the Vikings for 40 yards.
2 on this set of downs, right? I mean, come on.
Well, Torbert and his staff living up to the hype. 8 penalties so far, and their staff averages 10.5 a game, 2nd most in the NFL. Wentz fades to fire, steps up, and he is sacked back at the 15, 16-yard line. Carson Wentz sacked multiple times today, and that sack for the Cincinnati Bengals is going to go the way of Chris Jenkins Jr., second year from Michigan. He's been a handful in this game. He has at least a sack and a half, and Ryan Wright's going to punt.
Yeah, Cincinnati pulls out the man-to-man coverage all over the field, and Wentz had absolutely nowhere to go with the football. There was nobody open when he got to the top of his drop, and didn't have time to scramble and find a new target.
Snap to Ryan Wright. High punt to the left of Charlie Jones, the speedster. He'll call for a fair catch. Flag on the play coming in, I believe. Javier Thomas, one of the gunners. I don't see a flag, but he ran into.
Now there's one late.
Charlie Jones, and absolutely impeded his opportunity to catch it. So the Vikings, despite leading by 14 here, Pete, quite sloppy.
Yeah, very. How do we know that? Well, not just by drops. It's penalties. I mean, this is hitting a returner on a fair catch call.
But the fair catch signal did come in late.
It did come in late. I mean, I don't know. Even if it is, it's kind of a ticky-tack call. Because
fair catch interference by the kicking team, number 37. Penalties 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Cincinnati's ball, 1st and 10. Timeout on the field.
2:52 to go in the first half. Bengals get the ball to begin the second half. Vikings have a 17-3 lead, and we pause. On the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
Vikings fans, it's time to use Paze, an online checkout offered by banks and credit unions. With Paze, checking out is fast and convenient because eligible cards appear in one place. Ready to use when you order game day food delivery, your team's latest jersey, or flights to away games. You can beef up your defense at online checkout too. Using Paze gives you added security because actual card numbers aren't shared with merchants. Find out if your bank or credit union offers Paze today at Paze.com. That's PAZE.com.
Hey, friends with food allergies. Life is about to get way easier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, let's not argue. You've got enough stress. Just remember this name. Liam's. Liam's. Lee to the ums. As in Liam's frozen entrees that are free of the top 9 allergens. What? Gluten-free too. Delicious, nutritious, ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
Huddle up, Vikings Nation. Don't let that Skol chant fade. Let it echo through the hallways, the bars, the stadium, and the city. Because when the Vikings score 2 or more touchdowns, you'll get a free Big Mac with a purchase of $2 or more. Only in the McDonald's app. Offer valid once per person the day after the Vikings score 2+ touchdowns through 2/28/26 at participating McDonald's. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
Ready? Set!
TCO, for when the Minnesota Vikings need the best sports medicine available.
Ready? Set!
TCO, for partnering with more schools and communities.
Ready? Set!
TCO, for more urgent care locations ready to go. Twin Cities Orthopedics. Ready, set, TCO. Learn more at tcomn.com. Your station for Skull is FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Alrighty, 2:52 to go in the first half. Minnesota leads 17-3. And the Bengals have it 1st and 10 from the Vikings' 47-yard line. Penalties and some bad tackling on a 3rd and 12 have been problematic for the Vikings, but they still lead in healthy fashion as Browning throws over the middle, and that'll be caught. Noah Fant with a catch of 9 yards, making it 2nd and 1. Fant 3 catches, 15 yards. T. Higgins 1 for 14. Jamar Chase 2 catches, 3 yards. That ain't bad, Pete.
No, it's not, but you can't fall asleep on him because he can hit 1 catch and he can just change this entire football game. So Isaiah Rodgers, however, doing a great job thus far on whoever he's up against.
Jonathan Grenard and Dallas Turner are on the edge. Andrew Van Ginkel in and out, but he does have a sack. Handoff. Samaje Perine to the right side. Ooh, he drives Ivan Pace about 6 feet to the 36-yard line. What should have been a 1-yard gain was a 3-yard gain. First down, Cincinnati, and that Samaje Perine is a physical running back.
Yeah, he's got some juice, no question about that.
2-minute warning. Vikes lead 17-3 on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
For Minnesotans, the outdoors is home. Nobody gives you more ways to get there than Polaris. From Indian motorcycles and Ranger side-by-sides to Indy snowmobiles and Bennington pontoons, we bring Minnesota's best to every season. Our wooded trails, twisted highways, and the rugged shores of all 10,000 lakes are an invitation. A chance to let what's outside challenge what's inside you. Polaris. Think outside. A proud partner of your Minnesota Vikings.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
This Minnesota Vikings season, touchdowns are great, but sacks are better. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings has given away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Vikings get 2 or more sacks in a game. This Sacks for Wings promotion is valid 3 days after each qualifying game at participating Buffalo Wild Wings throughout Minnesota and surrounding areas. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including new happy hour and late night offers throughout football season at your local B-Dubs, a preferred sports bar of the Minnesota Vikings.
Viking speculation all week long on Minnesota's home for football. FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Peter?
Yes, Paul?
So with Blake Cashman down a little bit, Eric Wilson's filling in for him. He has forced fumbles in 2 consecutive games, but he leads the Vikings in tackles approaching halftime with 6. 55 is fantastic, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is, and he's had a good career moving around, and we needed some depth at that linebacker position. We saw what happened last year, losing 2 games in a row without Cashman. They needed someone. Eric Wilson's exactly that guy, and he's played well.
Tight end Drew Sample to the right of Jake Browning out of the shotgun, throws a quickie right, caught Noah Fant, his 5th catch. He dropped the ball. Isaiah Rodgers picked it up.
No way.
He is gone. 2 defensive touchdowns for number 2, Isaiah Rodgers. Well done, young man. That fumble recovery touchdown runs the Vikings to a 23-3 lead, and there are no flags on the field.
Wow, and Noah Fant caught this football. It was Jonathan Grenard that came up and absolutely lit him up and put that football on the ground. Unbelievable hustle. Jonathan Grenard normally rushing the passer. This time he's dropping out in the flat, able to get in there and cause that football to come loose. Actually, it was Isaiah Rodgers, Paul, I'm sorry, that punched it out. So he's been watching Eric Wilson highlight films.
Who is the record extra point snap spot? It is good. Who is the early favorite to become the NFC Defensive Player of the Week? You think it's Isaiah Rodgers? 87-yard pick 6, a fumble recovery touchdown of 34 yards, and he has 2 defensive touchdowns, and the Vikings lead 24-3 with 1:47 to go in the first half, and U.S. Bank has erupted.
And it should, Paul. I mean, it's offensively, we look better. We look great coming out of the football game. Since then, we've kind of slowed down a little bit, mainly just because of self-inflicted wounds. But defensively, we have been all over this Cincinnati team. And, wow, what a play by Rodgers. To be able to punch that football out and then actually just, like, punched it to himself and pick it up and run. The second touchdown of the game. I mean, my God, it's been since since the safety from Carolina. Remember he had back-to-back.
Oh, Jeremy Chin.
Jeremy Chin, yeah, back-to-back touchdown on turnovers.
Yeah. That's the Vikings' first fumble return touchdown since Ivan Pace 13 games ago against the Lions here. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Minnesota Vikings against the Cincinnati Bengals. Granted, playing without Joe Burrow, but that doesn't mean players have to drop the ball and give up fumble recovery or pick sixes, because the 87-yard pick six by Isaiah Rodgers, it's not like he just ran down the middle of the field unscathed. No. That guy's all over him, but that 4.2, 4.3 speed was in play.
Absolutely it was. And again, the defense, time of possession, Paul, the scoreboard's looking great, but the defense gets to go back out there.
Samaje Perine heads to the right side. Ooh, he runs through Ivan Pace again. Only for about another 2 yards, but Samaje Perine is so tough to bring down. He's such a big man. He'll get to the 27-yard line. That was a 66-yard fumble recovery touchdown, 87-yard pick six, both by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Minnesota Vikings lead 24-3. With a minute 42 to go in the first half, Vikes have 3 timeouts remaining. Bengals have 2. They just might want to hoist the white flag here, get the ball to start the second half, and try again. Jake Browning at quarterback takes the snap. 4-man rush, throws to the right side, hung it up there for Gesicki. Jake, not recognizing discretion's the better part of valor. He threw to the Isaiah Rodgers side of the field. Okay.
Paul, one of the areas defensively that has improved from last year to this year is really the play of the underneath coverage. And this is part of what we talked about with Eric Wilson earlier. But on that play, Byron Murphy Jr., just knowing where the curl's going to be, getting himself underneath that. Josh Metellus, understanding where the ball is going to go. I think our safeties and our corners have just done a magnificent job.
Jake Browning on a straight drop, throws over the middle, caught Mike Gesicki, the former Dolphin, lunges ahead to the 37. That's a 9-yard gain, just shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. And Zach Taylor will stop the clock with a minute 31 to go in the first half, using one of his 2 timeouts.
And get another look at that play. I mean, that's the tight end is running right into Josh Metellus. So is it offensive? Is it defensive pass interference? I'm not sure.
Offside.
Who?
Defense number 93 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Will be second down.
Now, the Vikings in November of 2014 at the College Stadium, they had 2 blocked punt touchdowns, Adam Thielen and Everson Griffin against the Carolina Panthers. They've had a bevy of games with a single defensive touchdown, but they have 2 in the first half, both from the same guy, Isaiah Rodgers, playing his 3rd game for the Minnesota Vikings, pick 6 and fumble recovery TD. Eagan's in motion to the right, 2nd and 5. Browning straight drop, looking to run, flag on the play, sprints 35. Now he throws the ball.
That's a legal forward pass.
Yeah, he threw it past the line of scrimmage. Chase dropped the ball at the 47. These Bengals got to get to halftime, seriously. They need halftime like they need to breathe right now.
Now, wait a minute. If this is ruled a fumble, we can decline, depending on the penalties, decline it, and then the Vikings get the football again.
Yeah.
But you're right. This Cincinnati team is absolutely falling apart.
Well, there was an early penalty, which seemed to be holding on Cincinnati as Browning broke the pocket. Jake.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. Isaiah Rodgers might just have caused his third fumble or third turnover this game. If this stands, this is unbelievable.
Well, we'll see how this shakes out, Pete, because Browning absolutely threw that pass about 6 feet past the line of scrimmage.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the offense.
Yeah.
Illegal motion.
Okay.
Number 5.
Okay.
Illegal forward pass.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Both penalties are declined.
We got the ball.
Play is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Minnesota.
All right. Isaiah Rodgers has a pick. Ben Lieber, Isaiah Rodgers has a pick 6, a fumble recovery touchdown. He forced the fumble on the touchdown. Now he just forced that one. How about that, Ben?
Just give him the award. I don't even care what's going on in the league right now. He is the NFL Defensive Player of the Week. He'll probably get Nickelodeon slimed on Wednesday as well.
By the way, Isaiah Rodgers has become the first player in Minnesota Vikings history to have 2 defensive touchdowns in the same game.
Wow.
And they've been around since they were playing Bob Bursich and the Dallas Cowboys back in like 61, yeah.
And did it in the same half, too, by the way.
Well done,
think
Isaiah.
about that. Unbelievable.
Well, if the Vikings can hold on and win this game, safe to say we know who the post-game interview will be with. Carson Wentz, back to pass. He's going to throw over the middle. Look at O'Connell, just wanting to get some more. So aggressive. Jefferson shakes a tackle at the 30. They can't stop him! He's finally taken down at the 16-yard line. A 36-yard catch and run by Justin Jefferson.
And Paul, that's only his 11th reception this year. So JJ, I mean, he's a superstar too. He wants his football. He wants to make something happen.
Right.
Get him the ball, let him do some things. That's the best run after catch I've seen out of him in a very, very long time.
O'Connell's taking the offensive inadequacy in the previous 2 games out on the Cincinnati Bengals. Wentz back to pass, throws right, caught Hawkinson at the 5. First down, it's 1st and goal Vikings. This Cincinnati Bengals defense cannot stop the Minnesota Vikings right now. I mean, Cincinnati is so flummoxed by what has happened with the fumble recovery touchdown, the pick 6 and everything, that these guys are wide open.
And Paul, I you know what? I don't think that what you just said is like just being a homerism, because the only thing that stopped our offense so far is ourselves.
Yeah,
the penalties.
It's actually factual.
Yeah, it's brilliant take.
1st and goal from the 5. Wentz out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Gun run. Jordan Mason up the middle. And he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Mason has scored his first touchdown with the Vikings, and the blowout is on. It's 30-3 Minnesota. We're not even at halftime.
No, and the defense is starting to take this personally, so to speak. Offense turning the football over 3 times, twice for touchdowns. On that run by Jordan Mason, that's a simple gun run from 5 yards out. He walks into the end zone. TJ Slayton lays on the ground for a good 15, 20 seconds after the play. This defense is upset with their offense.
Reichert for another extra point try, and it is good. 31-30. Make that 31-3 with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Minnesota leads, and the most recent score was off a fumble forced and recovered, I believe, by Isaiah Rodgers. The Vikings go 3 plays, 52 yards. Justin Jefferson has 61 receiving yards, which means he's 19 yards from passing Anthony Carter for 3rd most receiving yards in the history of the Minnesota Vikings football. Jordan Mason, filling in for Aaron Jones, scores his first touchdown wearing purple. Isaiah Rodgers gets his first interception in 4 years, and the first pick 6 of his career. Goes for 87. He also punched a ball loose and got into the end zone from 66 out on a fumble recovery. And the Vikings lead 31-3. Holy cow.
Yeah, this is one of the craziest halves of football that we've seen in a long time. And I want to go back to the touchdown run. Donovan Jackson and Michael Juergens doing a great job on B.J. Hill and T.J. Slayton in the middle of that Cincinnati defense. So those guys, you have young guys up front that are playing well together, getting a little bit of a head of steam, starting to get comfortable. You get Christian Darrisaw back at left tackle. It really has solidified a lot of the mistakes that are post-snap, right, Paul? The pre-snap penalties, yeah, we still got to get those corrected, but offensively settling down. And I think to your point as well, when we came out and started throwing the football, Kevin O'Connell wants this offense to be aggressive.
Reichert to P. Ryan up the middle, 25. He's not 25-30. He's not going to run away from you, but he's going to knock you down when you hit him. And it's fully expected that Cincinnati will go to a knee here and get to halftime. They have 2 timeouts. They get the ball to begin the second half, but it's been a disastrous start for the Cincinnati Bengals. And for the Minnesota Vikings, they tried to head to Dublin, a 2-1 team, and take on A-Raj and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Browning's going to go out of the shotgun. Jamar Chase left. T. Higgins to the right. P. Ryan he's going to get the call. That's his first run of the year. He dropped it, and then he fell on it at the 40.
No, he's got still 3.
Nope, it's still bouncing around, and the Vikings have turned over the Cincinnati Bengals again. Samaje Perine just, I think, dropped the ball as he was running up the middle for a first down, and the Vikings have recovered this fumble. Perine's running off the field looking like his left arm is dead. He's holding his shoulder, so they have a problem with that. And the Vikings have taken the ball away from Cincinnati again. That fumble was caused by Jalen Redmond. Perine went to jumping on it. It went bouncing around and was recovered by Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, they can't even hoist the white flag.
O'Connell's going to the end zone here. That's an 80% chance. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, why?
You didn't score a touchdown last week.
Paul, I don't disagree. This is a professional game. They get paid too.
Yeah.
I mean, stay aggressive.
Wentz out of the shotgun. He's going to throw the ball to the left side. It's a double pass. Jefferson all the way to the other side of the field to Xavier Scott. He caught it at the 40, and they did it in the alumni zone with a bunch of trickery, and it's an 8-yard gain. Flag on the play, by the way. Now, if this play stands, that will be the 3rd time Justin Jefferson has thrown a pass against the Cincinnati Bengals. He threw one in 2021 and 2023.
By the offense. Number 74 was lined up in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. Got corrections. Number 64. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
By the way, you heard the number 64. That's Blake Brandel. He's playing left tackle. Christian Darrisaw will not come back, and here's the deal. The plan into the game was for Darrisaw to play as long as he could play as part of the recovery plan. So there's nothing debilitating. There's nothing that's gone wrong. This is the plan. Darrisaw plays some, and when it's time to bring him out, they bring him out, and he will not return. So Blake Brandel has taken over at left tackle, and he'll play the duration of the game. Xavier Scott to the backfield to the right of Carson Wentz. 14 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz back to pass. Fires over the center of the field, incomplete. Jalen Naylor was mugged.
He was mugged.
But you know what? Ron Torbert feels bad for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's like, come on. This can't. Really, let's look the other way and get to halftime.
Oh my heavens! That's and when you see a receiver,
now the fans are ruthless.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, when you see a receiver get knocked off his route and he has because of the hands that are on his back, that's a penalty. And you know what? You can't, as an official, you can't let what's going on in the game affect your play call.
Yeah,
Penalty's a penalty.
They might have been blinded by the illumination coming in from the west side of U.S. Bank Stadium and the pivoting doors. Handoff. Xavier Scott to the right side. He gets to the Bengals 45, and that'll get us to halftime. Or will it? No, O'Connell's taking a timeout.
Are you serious?
I believe he has. 7-yard run. Wow.
30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 6 seconds.
O'Connell up 31-3. Just took a timeout with 6 seconds to go in the first half because there are things to perfect before you head over to Europe.
Right. Yeah, well, and Paul, here's the thing, too, I don't think he has a personal beef with Zach Taylor, nor do we have a beef per se with the Cincinnati Bengals. This is Coach O'Connell, I think, trying to make a statement to his offense and to his team to say this is the attitude that we want to have.
Yeah.
We are going to be aggressive. We're going to use every second that we possibly can. And he's trying to lead by example and do those things. Keep the offense on the field. Let's go.
Well, perhaps discretion has become the better form of valor for Kevin O'Connell because he ran Will Reichert out for a 62-yard field goal, and then Will came back onto the sideline. Carson Wentz is back out there, 3rd and 7 from the Cincinnati 44 with 6 seconds to go in the first half and a 28-point lead.
Hey, you might have enough time here, Paul, to hit a quick out.
Second charge timeout.
Which is probably what's going to happen.
Well, for the Bengals to take a timeout there, they think they see something where it's like KO. Right. Okay, you don't have to take the foot off the gas. We understand how the game works, and we saw your film, by the way, from last game, and we understand what's happening here. But we're going to take a timeout and make sure we cover some things up.
Right. And I think the main thing is just an awareness for the defense and saying, it's got to be a quick throw to the outside to make it a shorter field goal attempt. That could be done under 6 seconds, or it's got to be a throw that gets all the way to the end zone. It's going to be one or the other. So protect the sideline short and try and don't let. But then again, in the middle of the field, don't let anybody behind you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Vikings offense is trying to do right here, especially with this 3 wide receiver formation, is hit something in the flat quickly.
31 points, the most points the Vikings have had in a half since they came back on Indy in 2022. Wentz, back to pass, fade, left side, Jefferson, incomplete at the 30. Play took 3 seconds. So now it's 4th down. And Will Riker is going to head out for what will be close to a 62-yard field goal try. Reichert's career long is 59. It took place at Soldier Field this year. His career long in this building, 58. Last year against Houston. And he's made 6 consecutive, he's made field goals of at least 50 yards, 6 consecutive regular season games. That's the longest streak of anybody in the National Football League.
3rd and final charge, timeout, Cincinnati. This is the 30 seconds.
Too many men, Paul.
So how about that? Will Riker has made a field goal of at least 50 yards, 6 consecutive regular season games, and now they're going to let him loose from 62, Ben Lieber.
Yeah, before I wanted to say this and kind of wait maybe until the whole game's played, but we know how halves can be, so I just want to talk about this first half. We all see the score 31-3. We have another chance to put 3 on the board here, but it's more about what this represents when you put the tape on. This is an offensive line and a defensive line that are moving guys. We're not getting bullied at the line of scrimmage anymore. And I think the best example of how physical and the attitude that we're playing with today is that Justin Jefferson run on that last possession where he just ran over 2 defenders, hopefully trying to get to the end zone.
62-yard try, right hash. Will Riker to finish the first half. Snap, spot, it's up, it is good! A 62-yard bomb by Will Riker, a career-long, kicks the Minnesota Vikings to 34-3 for the lead and kicks the Cincinnati Bengals back to their locker room, and they probably want to leave town. Bengals get the ball to begin the second half. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
Hey, it's the common man, Dan Cole here. Life changes when a loved one's memories begin to slip away. But at the Wellshire in Medina in Bloomington, I saw the Wellshire Promise in action, where your loved one is treated with pride and dignity. If my mother-in-law were still here, this is where I would want her to be. Wellshire, Minnesota, because when memories fade, love doesn't. Find out more and schedule your visit today at either location, Bloomington or Medina, at WellshireMN.com. That's WellshireMN.com.
Vikings fans, looking to upgrade your wardrobe? This local brand based in St. Paul will become your new go-to. Unreal is the premium athleisure brand that combines comfort, versatility, and style, crafting elevated apparel that will take you from the office to the gym or the airport to the golf course. Wherever you go, they've got you covered. Shop now at Unreal.com and experience the difference yourself. That's UNRL.com, the best athleisure wear in the game.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Vikings faithful, listen up. Your game day checklist is more than wearing purple and gold. It's about victory from the first play to the final whistle. During tense, close calls, Dove shampoo, body wash, and deodorant keep you fresh and dry from head to toe. And what's a true Vikings tailgate without the secret weapon to sliders and sides, Hellman's Real Mayo. Then when post-game dishes pile up like a defensive line, 7th Generation Detergent is the powerhouse that blitzes through the grease and grime. Stock up on Dove, Hellman's, and 7th Generation. And Skol Vikings.
Like you, and we talk Vikings football every day too. Join us weekdays 9 to noon. Now back to Vikings football.
The Minnesota Vikings halftime report is presented by U.S. Bank, Polaris, Happy Thursday Spiked Refreshers, and by Twin Cities Orthopedics. Now live from U.S. Bank Stadium, here's Mike Mussman.
Reichert with a 62-yard field goal, good to end the half. 34-3, the Vikes have the lead. Your halftime stats are presented by Lumen, official technology partner of your Minnesota Vikings. Carson Wentz, 8 of 14, 105 in the first half with a touchdown and a rating of 104.8. Jefferson, 4 receptions, 61 yards along of 36. Mason on the ground, 8 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown, his very first touchdown as a Minnesota Viking. Then you got P. Ryan, who's got 23 yards on the ground on 4 carries. Browning has just been absolutely harassed by the Vikings defense. 11 of 17, 70, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and that one was a pick 6. 48.7, by the way, on that. Fant leading the way. 5 receptions, 26 yards, 2 defensive touchdowns by that same guy, Isaiah Rodgers. We're going to definitely get into that with Tatum Everett here in the second half of our halftime show. Make every moment count this fall with Polaris Slingshot. Feel the drive with style, performance, and comfort. Polaris. Think outside. Watching a couple of games. Keep it highlighted on this one because next week we take on the Steelers in Dublin. Right now, Rodgers hits Metcalf for a 12-yard touchdown, and the Steelers have the lead 14-7. Packers and Browns. Packers have the lead 3-0. They're getting close to their halftime. There's a new way to stream your Vikings coverage shows and insight right on your big screen TV. It's Fox Local, a free streaming app. Search Fox Local on your streaming device, install, and stay connected to your Vikings and local news with Fox Local. Coming up here next, Tatum Everett. We're going to talk about 4 turnovers, 2 of which to go to the house, and the Minnesota Vikings are up 34-3 here at US Bank Stadium. This is Vikings football.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
Eagan, Minnesota is the proud home of the Minnesota Vikings, and it's also the ultimate destination for fantastic fun. Eagan features over 100 unique restaurants and amazing attractions, such as Twin Cities Premium Outlets and the Vikings Museum. And when you stay in any of Eagan's 19 incredible hotels Thursday through Sunday and pick your package, you'll receive 2 free tickets to the Vikings Museum. Other great offers are also available. For complete details, visit enjoyeagan.com. That's enjoyeagan.com.
Hi, I'm Amy Hockert with Fox 9. Have you downloaded Fox Local yet? Fox Local is how you stream Fox 9 on your TV or your phone for free. You can watch all of our newscasts, original programming, and all your Gopher and Viking shows.
And welcome back to Vikings Game Day Live. We'll take a look at JJ.
So download Fox Local on your TV or your phone and stay connected to Fox 9 with Fox Local for free.
Every team needs a top pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Anderson, the #1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last through every season, Anderson makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. So whether it's scoring style points or tackling tough weather, you can trust your home to Anderson, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Anderson brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersonWindows.com.
I'm Justin Jefferson, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN, back to Vikings football.
Three. Vikes have the lead here at the half. Located at Eden Prairie Center, Wildfire offers a selection of steaks, chops, and seafood in a modern-day 1940s supper club. You can join them for lunch, dinner, or carry out. You can plan out your next corporate event or social event in one of their private rooms. Just check out wildfirerestaurant.com. Tatum Everett joins me now here in the booth at US Bank Stadium. Tatum, I mean, what more can you say about Isaiah Rodgers for crying out loud?
Have yourself a day, Mr. Rodgers, right?
Man, he gets the pick 6 for 87, and then he gets a 66-yard scoop and score after he punched out the ball from Fant, and then he punches out another one, and we get a fumble recovery.
We are, and we're actually checking right now to see if that's the first time in NFL history that a player has two defensive touchdowns and 2 forced fumbles in the same game. So we're checking in on that, but it's only been one half.
Right.
Most points scored in the first half since 2010.
Jeez.
Oh,
2010. Man,
Yeah.
that was my second year doing this.
Yeah, I think I told you I was a fresh college grad at that point. No, but it's so great to see. I'm not sure. The impact of Harrison Smith is felt all over.
Yeah,
at
he
all
tipped that
times.
ball in that.
Tipped
pick
that ball really, and obviously just him being out there is good for putting the guys in the right spaces and places and things like that. But they're just playing with their hair on fire, and you love to see it. A guy like Isaiah Rodgers, who this coaching staff has been so high on, said they went out and got him specifically. Brian Flores wanted this guy, and he showed just how aggressive of a player he is.
So Tatum, I want to give the flowers to Carson Wentz and the offense and stuff like that, but then also he has been sacked 3 times. Mostly those were coverage sacks. He had a lot of time in the pocket. He has had time in the pocket.
Very true.
But the false starts at home, that can't happen.
And I think that's so interesting because it's penalties. Like it's these pre-snap penalties. It's just the small mistakes. I think at halftime that's something that you need to correct. And in the locker room, you're going to be talking about not making those penalties, not starting behind the chains before you even get going. This offense can't find a momentum or a rhythm if they continue to have these pre-snap penalties. So if you clean that up, I think you'll see a little bit of confidence. Like we saw some big throws from Carson. We saw the connections to JJ, which we can say JJ right now, which is kind of fun. But at the end of the day, if you can keep the laundry off the field, that will be the most helpful for this offense moving forward. The defense is giving you all of this room and confidence to make mistakes, to try things, to get that momentum going. You don't have to worry about holding them up on the other side of the deal. So I think you go for it in this second half. And I know I'm kidding around about this. Everyone's like, this is awesome, and it is awesome. But I am more of a cautious fan.
Don't come out flat because you have a lead.
Let's not reverse into this thing.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And it was great to see Darisaw get the start and play, and then now he's not going to return, right?
Oh,
I don't believe. I think that was the plan. I believe that was the plan. That they were going to play him until he decided to come out, or they were like, okay, that's enough. And
it's a good get back in. Don't push yourself. You have this 30-point lead. Let's kind of air things out. Let things happen. I agree with the decision. I think it's great.
How about 62-yard field goal, and he still had more foot left in that one from Reichert at the very end.
Absolutely incredible. It's great to see him have his stride. I felt like maybe he struggled a little bit in the back half of last season with that injury, but he is looking like in prime form. I love to see it.
Love it. Tatum, thank you so much. Appreciate it. 34-3, Vikes have the lead here at the half, and showcase your fandom, your football fandom, by submitting your photo as the Jameson Football Fanatic of the Week. Enter at Vikings.com for your chance to win weekly prizes. You could also win the grand prize as well. Must be 21 plus to enter. Second half, 34-3, Minnesota Vikings over the Bengals on the Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
You're listening to Vikings football.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
What did you do at New Horizon Academy today, Miles? Mom, letter of the week is S. We added the word sun to our word wall. We read a book about the weather, built a solar off around the playground. We practiced star breathing, and then I learned how to make an S in sign language. It was so fun! Sounds like you had a great day.
New Horizon Academy offers premium early childhood development for all families. We serve best-in-class social-emotional education for kiddos from infancy to school age. Check us out at newhorizonacademy.net.
The recruitment industry has changed.
and it's time for you to take action and change with it. If you're looking to advance your career, or your company is looking to hire key individuals that can grow your business, GPAC is here for you. We are the eyes and ears of the industries we serve. Contact us today at gogpac.com. That's GOGPAC.com. It's grow time.
They're getting ready, so you should too. Have KFAN as your number one preset on the iHeart app and never miss a play.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Vikings football.
This is Vikings Bengals, live from US Bank Stadium on the audio home for Vikings football. FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
The day of first continues for the Minnesota Vikings. The first time they've had a player have two defensive touchdowns in a game, Isaiah Rodgers, with a pick six and a fumble recovery touchdown. Pick six for 87, fumble recovery for 66. The 62-yard field goal before half by Will Reichert, not only a career long for him, it's the longest made field goal in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. Their 34 points in a half is the most they've scored since coming back on the Indianapolis Colts, down 33-0 at halftime in 2022. And if anybody's interested, the team has 34 points, the most points scored in a game by a Minnesota Vikings team in the history of the franchise. 54 against the Dallas Cowboys in 1970. Little Reichert, boom. He'll kick it to the Charlie Jones side of the field. The speedster picks it up at the 7, heads to the right side of the 20, and he spins away from one Viking, but cannot get away from Chaz Chambliss, the Georgia Bulldogs. 17-yard return. The man who threw the pick six, former Viking Jake Browning, 11 of 17, 70 yards. Noah Fant, 5 catches, 26 yards. Samaje Perine, 4 runs, 21 yards. Their preferred back, Chase Brown, only 3 runs. Make that 7 runs for 3 yards. So the Vikings, who have given up 337 rushing yards through 2 games, were dead set to say, no, that's not happening today. And the handoff goes to Brown right side, and no, it's not happening again. Jonathan Grenard's work against the run continues to be impeccable today. That is a loss of 1 yard. And Pete, you nailed it early. After watching back that Falcons tape, it's clear some people got frustrated at being pushed around at the line of scrimmage.
No question about it, Paul. And I'll take a look at Jalen Redmond, too. He's had an unbelievably good day and just controlling the line of scrimmage, getting north and south. A completely different defensive front from that aspect than we saw a week ago.
Ivan Pace comes on a second down blitz, but out of the pistol, the Bengals run Chase Brown right side across the 25, and he will be taken down at the 26. That's a gain of 4. It's 3rd and 7 for the Bengals from their own 27, with Minnesota leading 34-3 into the second half.
How about that? We're seeing guys like Jay Ward get some snaps, get in there, and then you get the 3rd down, and all of a sudden, Okuda comes in, and Harrison Smith comes in, and Van Ginkel comes in. I mean, it's such a platoon for a 3rd down. It's amazing.
The Bengals are 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Play clock down to 7. Jake Browning walks up to the center. Ted Karras and yells. Now he backs off out of the shotgun. 5-man rush. Browning stays in the pocket. Now he runs out to the left. Eludes Levi Drake Rodriguez close to the sideline. He can't see anybody open, so he runs out of bounds. And the Cincinnati Bengals will punt despite being down 31 points just into the 3rd quarter. They're way back in their own territory. And it would be 4th and 7. Browning just, that's a coverage play right there.
It is. And I think that if there's been a subtle change in this Viking defense from last year to this year, is that we're showing blitz a lot, but I think we're actually blitzing less.
Right.
than we have, but we're still able to get pressure on the QB.
On a day of first, how about the first punt return touchdown since Marcus Sherrills in 2016? Miles Price retreats to the 7, catches it over his head. He heads to the right side, looks for a block, gets it, but it was an illegal block. And Price is taken down at the 11. Flag came in. So the Vikings will be backed up half the distance to the goal on this. And this possession will begin in the neighborhood of the 5-yard line.
And for Jay Ward, you don't have to put a body on the guy. You just have to kind of get in his way. So, I don't know. It wasn't a complete hit from behind.
They're discussing. Here's Ron Torbert.
Here in the return, personal foul, face mask, number 37 of the kicking team.
Whoa.
Penalty 15 yards from the end of the run. Minnesota's ball, 1st and 10.
We pause on the Sleep Number scoreboard. Vikings ball. Vikings lead 34-3 from U.S. Bank Stadium. It's Vikings football.
Paul Sutton Bourbon is a namesake bourbon made by our family for 7 generations. Grain to glass, never sourced. Paul Sutton Bourbon, passed down to be passed around.
What's the difference between banks and a credit union like Wings? One word, ownership. Banks are owned by shareholders, so profits go to shareholders. At Wings, you own it, literally. So profits are reinvested in your financial experience in the form of member-exclusive rates, robust digital services, and locations throughout Minnesota. No one likes switching, but it's time to stop missing out on the benefits of financial ownership. Visit wingcu.com/own it. Insured by NCUA. Membership required.
Discover the ultimate destination to live, work, and play at Viking Lakes. From top-tier office spaces in the Minnesota Vikings World Headquarters to exciting live entertainment and luxury apartment living, Viking Lakes has it all. Discover Viking Lakes residences with spacious apartments, best-in-class finishes, and unparalleled amenities. Our community sets the standard for suburban luxury. Are you planning a company holiday party or a fall picnic? Our venue is perfect for any event. For additional information, please visit explorevikinglakes.com. Experience suburban luxury like never before.
She's Jan, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jan Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Paul Sutton Bourbon is a namesake bourbon made by our family for 7 generations. Grain to glass, never sourced. Paul Sutton Bourbon, passed down to be passed around.
Every Tuesday at 11, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell joins Paul Allen live from the TCO studio right here on the audio home for Vikings football. KFAN, The Fan.
Minnesota 34, Cincinnati 3. Vikings fans, right now you can pick up a commemorative Pepsi Vikings Cup here at U.S. Bank Stadium or participating Hy-Vee and Buffalo Wild Wings locations for your chance to win Victor's Ride or other great prizes. Vikings fans deserve Pepsi, so Skol. On a day the Minnesota Vikings are celebrating their legends, this may turn out to be a legendary game, with the Vikings scoring 34 points in the first half, leading 34-3. 12:42 to go in the third quarter. Vikings first crack at offense, led by Carson Wentz. Handoff, Jordan Mason gets through the line of scrimmage, left side to the 30, angles to the right to the 40, lowers the helmet at the 43, and rambles for a first down. Jordan Mason, 20-yard run, and he also has a rushing touchdown today.
Now Christian Darrisaw back in at left tackle, so he's getting a few more reps, and you run his way. That's what you do. You're running right at Trey Hendrickson. Great job by Carson Wentz, Paul, playing the game and knowing where the 8th defender in the box is coming down and which side is the safety. And that's what they did. They ran the ball right where the safety was inserting himself, and that allowed for that big run.
9 runs, 60 yards for Jordan Mason. He's the single set. TJ Hawkinson in motion to the right. First down. It's a toss to Mason. He turns the corner, gets the 45 to the 50, hit hard at the Bengals 46, but it's an 8-yard run by Jordan Mason, making it 2nd and 2. Now, The intel into the game was that Christian Darasaw was going to play basically on a pitch count, and when he came out, he was not going to return. Blake Brandell would be his backup. That took place, but they had halftime, and now Christian Darasaw is back in, so that's nothing but good news. False start Vikings here.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, it's like the only thing all day long offensively that's slowed it. We've slowed ourselves down more than Cincinnati has, Paul. And as much you look at the scoreboard, 34-3. It's only the third quarter. As much as things have gotten fixed, and with the big plays that we've made on defense, there's still some things that are just gnawing at the proverbial ankle of this offense, and getting off on the snap count is one of them.
Spoken like a true former coach. Carson Wentz out of the shotgun, hands it to Jordan Mason, makes a Bengal miss in the backfield. He crosses the logo heading west, and he gets to the 47 of Cincinnati for maybe 5-yard run, and that'll make it 3rd and 2. I say spoken like a former coach. Pete Bursich coached linebackers for the Vikings for a half decade, and when you're winning by 31 points, it's always perfect for coaches to be like, yeah, we won by this amount of points, but they have something about which they can complain.
Absolutely.
That would be penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're up by 31 going into halftime. You're like, hey, we were down by more than this and came back and won. So don't think that the second half is won just by throwing your helmets on the field.
And Minnesota's 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Wentz, he's been sacked today, throws over the middle, caught first downs. Jalen Naylor at the Bengals 40-yard line, 7-yard hit, and a Minnesota Vikings first down with 10.5 minutes and counting to go in the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter so far. Vikings 34, Bengals 3.
Yeah, and we got to get Ben Lieber to get Adam Thielen a different pair of shoes, because every time he's near the ball, it looks like there's a flag on the play.
Yeah,
it's very distracting.
I know it's
Ben.
very distracting, but what's not distracting is watching him run block. He multiple times have been lined up next to Christian Darasaw, and they're using him as a chipper on that very last play. He blocked 2 guys, both defensive linemen on that pass play.
So they raised him tough up Detroit Lakes way. Wentz under center, toss to Jordan Mason, stutter step in the backfield. Flag comes in late. He dives ahead to the 35 for a run of 5.
Holding. Offense number 65.
Oh, I mean,
10-yard penalty. It'll be first down.
Well, now this thing's starting to get dumb. It's like delaying people from mowing their lawns.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is when you run the football like this, it's time of possession to keep the clock running. That's what you want to do right now when you have this kind of a lead. So you want to maintain that and continue to do that. So, I don't know. The big cutbacks, that's where the holding penalties happen. When the ball's supposed to go outside, then all of a sudden the back decides he's going to bend it to the weak side. And as linemen, you can't see the back, and all of a sudden you just see the defensive lineman running away from you, and you have this tendency to want to grab them, and that's exactly what happened to Juergens.
So it's 1st and 20 for Minnesota from the 50 with a 34-3 lead in the third quarter. Xavier Scott in, spelling Jordan Mason. Went straight drop, fires a fastball to the right side. He has a very nice arm, and it is caught by Justin Jefferson at the Cincinnati 40, and he forges ahead for a gain of 14 yards, which means Justin Jefferson is now 5 yards shy of becoming the number 3 Vikings all-time history for yardage passing Anthony Carter.
What a great route against DJ Turner. DJ Turner's rolled up. He's not pressing him or trying to jam him at the line of scrimmage, but he's playing deep third on him. But that throw by Wentz, Paul, the timing of it makes it almost impossible to cover someone like Justin Jefferson. Impressive throw.
TJ Hawkinson in motion to the left. Carson Wentz under center. It's a flip left to Xavier Scott, who bursts through the line of scrimmage left side. Outside the numbers to the 30. Encountered at the 27. Taken down at the 25. Xavier Scott runs for the first down of his career. It's an 11-yard run, and the Vikings are at the Cincinnati 25.
Oh, what a great job by Donovan Jackson on the front side of that play to be able to reach the D lineman in front of him and just continue to turn that thing around. And then you also have Christian Darasaw getting up to the second level, being athletic enough to block a defensive back in space.
Donovan Jackson is down on his left knee, so we have a play stoppage. And for a Minnesota moving company that is nursing Darisaw back into action, he's been in and out, is without Ryan Kelly at center. Michael Juergens has filled in today as a couple of penalties. Donovan Jackson being wounded is probably the last thing they want, but he gets up under his own power and he's walking off the field, so we pause. On the sleep number scoreboard, Minnesota 34, Cincinnati 3. And NFL scoreboard is next on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
She's Jan, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jan Show Fan Show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
When it comes to managing your blood pressure, you play to win. You've made changes to your diet. You stay active. You've followed your doctor's game plan to the letter. But when it comes to your health, you can't always tackle it alone. Go beyond typical treatments with a Simplicity blood pressure procedure. Brought to you by Medtronic, official sponsor of the Vikings. Talk to your doctor. Results may vary. Adverse events include but are not limited to temporary pain and bruising. Read important risk factor information at beyondhbp.com.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
We are rubes like you, and we talk Vikings football every day, too. Join us weekdays 9 to noon. Now back to Vikings football.
Scoreboard Central.
Brought to you by the Minnesota Lottery. You can play the new Viking Scratch Game from the Minnesota Lottery with a chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. 10-zip. The Packers are up over the Browns. Love has thrown 124 and a touchdown. Jones, he's got 193 and a touchdown, as well as the Colts are up over the Titans, 27-6. Now back to PA.
All right, Muss. Blake Brandell, who played left tackle at the end of the first half, supplanting Darisaw. He's into left guard now, as Donovan Jackson left the game, and on 1st and 10, toss right. Jordan Mason slips at the line of scrimmage, then he dives ahead for a gain of 1 yard. Far side of the field to about the 25-yard line. And that'll make it 2nd and 9, middle of the third quarter. It's a scoreless third quarter. The Vikings lead 34-3.
And the offense is being very prudent, right? They're just keeping the ball on the ground, getting Jordan Mason. Again, that's why he brought Jordan Mason in for times like this. Bad weather football games, short yardage, deep in the red zone. Get him the ball, get him efficient, and keep him moving the chains.
The Vikings have run 3 more offensive plays than Cincinnati as Wentz throws over the middle, caught T.J. Hawkinson at the 15, and he is upended by Jordan Battle, third-year safety from Alabama, but not until he got 9 yards and another Minnesota Vikings first down.
One of the things that's standing out is just how quickly Carson Wentz is getting rid of the football, how quickly he recognizes what's going on out in front of him, and it was T.J. Hawkinson just trying to get himself up the field, seeing the middle of the field open, and as soon as he made his cut, the football was already in the air. So Carson Wentz, not necessarily resetting his feet, just delivering the ball on time.
Wentz throws a quickie out right to Hawkinson, trying to get him hot. Caught it at the 11, and he now heads down the sideline to the 6 and the 5. He gets to the 4. That'll be a catch of 11 yards as he goes out of bounds. Another first down for the Vikings. So 6.5 minutes and counting to go in the third quarter. Minnesota leads 34-3 and is looking for more first and goal.
Yeah, this is kind of the area where we need work, right? We had this situation a week ago against Atlanta, 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, and we ended up going backwards. So let's see if we take a different approach and keep the ball on the ground.
The Vikings have run and passed 18 times each. Wentz hands the ball to Mason, up the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Mason has a 2-rushing touchdown game, and Minnesota leads 40-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a day of firsts in a lot of ways, especially with Isaiah Rodgers with a pick six for a touchdown. He forces a fumble, picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown. I'd have to look at the books, Paul, but it's been a long time since we've had a running back get multiple touchdowns in the same football game. So that part of this offense, I feel very, very good about.
Will Reichert, extra point try. He has yet to miss this year, and that streak will stay intact. Reichert with the extra point make. By the way, right in front of halftime, Will Reichert, second-year Alabama, hit a 62-yard field goal. That's the longest in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. And now Jordan Mason with 2 rushing touchdowns in a game. Isaiah Rodgers became the first defensive player in the history of Minnesota Vikings football to score 2 defensive touchdowns in the same game. All of that leads to a 41-3 lead with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. That's the Sleep Number scoreboard, and we pause. It's Minnesota Vikings football.
Hey, it's the common man, Dan Cole here. Life changes when a loved one's memories begin to slip away. But at the Welshire in Medina and Bloomington, I saw the Welshire Promise in action, where your loved one is treated with pride and dignity. If my mother-in-law were still here, this is where I would want her to be. Welshire, Minnesota, because when memories fade, love doesn't. Find out more and schedule your visit today at either location, Bloomington or Medina, at welshiremn.com. That's welshiremn.com.
Vikings fans, meet the MVP of flavor, the Humble Goat. Our cranberry cinnamon goat cheese earned second place in the World Champion Cheese Contest, and our plain goat cheese just scored second at the American Cheese Society Awards. Smooth, creamy, healthy, and perfect for game day and every day. Find the Humble Goat cheese at your local store, and don't forget, Humble Goat protein powder is fueling fans everywhere. Available now on Amazon. World class and Minnesota proud.
As a leader in innovative ingredient solutions, Sam Nutrition offers a unique personal touch that only a family-owned business can provide. As your trusted partner in animal nutrition, we source the highest quality ingredients, ensuring you achieve optimal results. Discover how our family values drive us to connect industries and unlock peak performance across your entire operation with Sam Nutrition. Learn more by visiting samnutrition.com. Sam Nutrition, high performance, reasonable price. A proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota deserves a go-to destination for all things high school sports in our state. All the scores, the stories, the stats, live streams, social feeds, photos, personalized team pages, breaking news. One place for everything you're looking for. That's why the Minnesota Star Tribune is launching Strip Varsity. You'll find Minnesota Star Tribune journalism, Minnesota Prep Hub stats and schedules, streams, stories, and more. Strip Varsity is Minnesota's new home for complete high school sports coverage. Sign up today at startribune.com/stripvarsity.
Hey, it's Zach Calverson here, all about the blowout of the Bengals tomorrow morning beginning at 5:30 with the Power Trip Morning Show right here on The Fan.
Welcome back. The Vikings lead the Cincinnati Bengals 41-3. They're on a run of AFC North teams. At Pittsburgh, next game from Dublin. After that, Cleveland from Tottenham Hotspur in England. As Charlie Jones rolls to the 29, we roll down to Ben Lieber.
Yeah, thanks, PA. I got a whole bunch of injuries to update all the fans on as the defense takes the field. Javon Hargrave is good to go. That chest injury is okay, but the thing is, he just may not play given the scores 41-3. Now, offensively for the Cincinnati Bengals, Samaje Perine is out. Dalton Reisner, who is stepping in that right guard spot because their starter was out, he is also questionable with the right calf injury. And good news, Donovan Jackson just had a bloody nose, so he'll be back in this game as well.
Dalton Reisner, who had 19 starts for the Vikings in 23 and 24, has been playing right guard for the Bengals as Jamar Chase traipses across the field from the right to the left for a 4-yard gain. That'll make it 2nd and 6. The Bengals moving company has a couple of behemoth tackles. Orlando Brown, 8th year Oklahoma. Amarius Mims, the right tackle, 2nd year from Georgia, 18th overall pick in 2024. Not the fleetest of foot. No. Against the likes of Van Ginkel, Bernard, and Turner.
No, but he's a big man, though. Holy cow.
T. Higgins in motion to the right. Had 2 TDs on the Vikings in 2023. Dallas Turner comes with a blitz. Jake Browning rolls out to the right in front of the Vikings bench. He's going to throw it, and it's caught at the 37-yard line. It's caught at the 37-yard line by Chase Brown for a gain of 3, making it 3rd and 3.
How about it being Levi Drake Rodriguez to make that tackle on a quarterback scramble all the way almost to the sideline? He's pursuing all the way to get there to make the tackle on Chase Brown. So these guys are hustling. I think Dallas Turner is showing a lot of speed. He's being rewarded with being out there on some third down plays. Overall, Paul, the defense has made a lot of improvements.
Bengals 2 of 7 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 2. Browning straight drop, throws over the middle. It's caught for a 1st down. It's Gesicki. He turns up the field to the 45-50, and he'll get into Vikings territory to the 46. Mike Gesicki with a 16-yard reception in his 8th year from Pennsylvania State University.
And defensively, Paul, you gotta keep hanging in there. I used to love games like this because I'd actually get a chance to play a lot. And so, it doesn't matter. You gotta get out there and be intense and defensively just maintain what you've been doing.
Jake Browning, former Viking, a couple of years on the practice squad from under center, play action, sidearms the pass to the left, incomplete. And in hot pursuit with coverage was Eric Wilson covering a tight end, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and it was Dallas Turner that put the pressure on Jake Browning. And that's the thing when you talk about play calling, Zach Taylor, the whole thing, when you're down by this much, outside linebackers are not going to be biting on the run fake away. They know you need to throw the football, so those bootlegs become a little less effective.
2nd and 10, Browning back to pass, throws over the middle, throws it right to a member of the Minnesota Vikings. It's Joshua Metellus with an interception of Jake Browning. And the Vikings have turned over the air-prone Bengals once again. That is the 2nd interception thrown by Jake Browning. The Vikings have 2 defensive touchdowns and are en route to potentially and historically wide margin here on Cincinnati. Right now it's 41-3 on the Sleep Number scoreboard, 3:49 to go in the 3rd quarter on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by this blowout and Polaris.
Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings are teaming up to put you in the ride of your dreams. Picture this. You behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend. Nice picture. Make it happen. Stop by your local Quick Trip, and for every dollar you spend using Quick Rewards, you'll earn a point to spend in the Vikings Fan Zone. Buy special qualifying products and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Kick off your winning season the right way with Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings. Details at quicktrip.com/fanzone.
Vikings fans, sometimes you need to play defense when you shop online. So many websites these days ask you to store your card numbers with them, and it's time to blow the whistle on that. Participating banks and credit unions are now offering Pays, an online checkout service with added security. With Pays, your card numbers stay hidden from merchants. Now that's protecting your pocket. Find out if your bank or credit union offers Pays today at Pays.com. That's PAZE.com.
As a leader in innovative ingredient solutions, Sam Nutrition offers a unique personal touch that only a family-owned business can provide. As your trusted partner in animal nutrition, we source the highest quality ingredients, ensuring you achieve optimal results. Discover how our family values drive us to connect industries and unlock peak performance across your entire operation with Sam Nutrition. Learn more by visiting samnutrition.com. Sam Nutrition, high performance, reasonable price, a proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Smart beds start at $9.99. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today. Official sleep and wellness partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Your station for Skull is FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Quick Trip trivia. Which Viking totaled 3 touchdowns against the Bengals in '92? Jerry Allen, Hassan Jones, Chris Carter, or Anthony Carter? And the answer is A, Terry Allen. That's trivia provided by Quick Trip and QuickTrip.com. 41-3, Minnesota. Carson Wentz still in at quarterback. Jordan Mason with 2 rushing touchdowns today for the first time in his career once more. Turns it up left side. He's to the 35-40. He's by the sideline to the 50, and he gallops into Bengals territory with a run of 23 yards and a first down for the Minnesota Vikings, where the moving company now is Blake Brandell at left tackle. Donovan Jackson has returned to play left guard.
Well, what a great job. What a great job by the tight ends blocking. Demetrius Knight getting pinned in, Josh Oliver and TJ Hawkinson able to pass that block off. I mean, this is a 4-man front defense of 0-4-3, which leaves the edges vulnerable, and we are totally taking advantage of this Bengals defense on the outside.
Jordan Mason with 102 rushing yards. Wentz, play action, throws right, Naylor wide open at the 25-yard line. And it'll be another first down for the Vikings. A 22-yard reception by Jalen Naylor. 3 catches, 37 yards. Jordan Mason with 102 rushing yards has the 4th 100-yard rushing game of his career. And on a day of first, today is the first time he's had multiple touchdowns in a game. He has 0 receiving touchdowns in his career. So let's get Justin Jefferson, this Minnesota Vikings advancement portion of the equation. He's 5 yards from Anthony Carter for 3rd most receiving yards in Vikings history. Handoff Mason, heads to the right side. Oh, jump cut at the 15 was sweet, and he gets down to the 10 for a run of 12. Jordan Mason is beating up the Cincinnati Bengals. It's 1st and goal, Minnesota.
And this is where a guy like Jordan Mason is so effective, Paul. It's in the end of the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. You've gotten the defense worn down a little bit, and those jump cuts that might be arm tackles in the first half of the football game now become bigger runs. So Jordan Mason has been impressive all year. We saw what he could do in San Francisco, and I'm just excited to have him.
1st and goal, Vikes. Carson Wentz under center. Back to the moneymaker, Mason. He'll cut to the left side at the 10-yard line. Play went right. He cut to the left, and he was taken down after a gain of 2 yards. We have kind of a cocksure member of the Cincinnati Bengals, Barrett Carter, rookie linebacker from Clemson, jumped up celebrating. My man, you're down 38 points. I mean, seriously.
Well, remember what I said a little while ago? This is probably the only time he's going to get to play in games like
but
this.
You wouldn't have celebrated on a tackle like that.
Maybe not, but still, you know, you're out there doing something. You gotta be excited.
It's a day of firsts. So what do we want here? Adam Thielen's first touchdown since returning, or Xavier Scott's first touchdown, period? Naylor in motion to the right. Play action to Scott. Wentz steps up in the pocket, sees nothing. He'll run up the middle, and he'll roll to the 5-yard line. It'll be a run of 3 by Carson Wentz. It'll be 3rd and a goal from the 5-yard line, with Minnesota leading 41-3. The most points the Vikings have ever scored in a game, 54, 1970 versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Vikings' biggest margin of victory in the history of the team, 1969 against Cleveland, it was 48 points. Play clock runs down. They're milking the clock, milking the game clock and the play clock. And Carson Wentz on 3rd and goal from the 5 goes out of the shotgun. Xavier Scott to his right. Snap. Pass over the middle, caught, touchdown, TJ Hawkinson. That's his first receiving touchdown this season. Carson Wentz has thrown 2 touchdowns today, and it's 47-3 Minnesota.
Well, Carson Wentz has executed this offense brilliantly. There was a double A-gap blitz. That empties out the underneath zone, the middle of the field. And that's right where TJ Hawkinson made his move to, and Carson Wentz really didn't even set his feet. He knew where the ball was going to go. He knew what part was going to be open. Easy throw and catch for a touchdown.
Will Reichert with an extra point try, and it is good. The analyst nailed it earlier in the game, and if we have time now or somewhere in the fourth quarter, which basically is going to become the Sunday version of 9 to noon on FM 100.3 KFAM. The only thing we're missing is Nordo. You said something early in the game that has transpired the entire game. No knock or affront on J.J. McCarthy, who has played really 1.5 regular season games, or 2 regular season games, excuse me. But the way they're utilizing the middle of the field with the run after catch I mean, that's all we see when O'Connell's offense is high end. I mean, you'll see outside of the numbers plays and stuff like that, but these passes are middle of the field with run after catch.
You're absolutely right. And that pistol three-step kind of a quick throw game, we didn't see a lot with J.J. McCarthy, but we're seeing a lot of it today with Carson Wentz. And Wentz has executed it really brilliantly, Paul. And I go back to the first half where he would get to the top of his drop and he would just hold for a second. And why is he doing that? He's letting these underneath receivers clear the zone defenders and then settle in the middle of the field. And, so he did that a couple of times, hitting the ball out to the flat quickly, taking his time when he wants to hit the routes across the middle of the field. Down that last play, seeing the blitz coming right up the middle and not even really setting his feet, but knowing exactly where to go with the football. The anticipation has been fantastic. The experience has shown, and Carson Wentz has looked fabulous today.
Flag came in on this kick by Riker. Charlie Jones, another flag comes in, and Jones bounces off Vikings near side of the field. Now he's trying to outrun Jeff Okuda, who's going to throw him down to the 38-yard line. Be curious to see what happens here. The ball may not have landed properly in the landing zone, but I was writing down just like another first for the Minnesota Vikings, and kind of caught me off guard there. But 2 flags are on the play.
Well, the ball landed perfectly in
that's what I thought.
5-yard line. It's fine.
That's what I thought.
And so I think what they were trying to do with Reichert is they've been kicking it to the right side of the field, and he was, I think, faking that with his alignment because, you pay attention to the alignment of the kicker on a kickoff return and then tried to pull it to the left.
But 2 flags, one early, one middle. I mean, how happy are Vikings fans right now? Look at this group in front of us. I mean, they're all smiley with Bengals fans. They're like taking Christmas card pictures. They're so happy with the score.
Yeah, I mean, and for the fans, too, you get a big win on the road in Chicago Monday night, the whole thing, and then the game last week against Atlanta Sunday night is probably the loudest I've heard this stadium.
Yeah, early for sure.
Exactly, and then
outside of the miracle.
Exactly, McCarthy getting injured, and then all the question marks going into this game. They've been rewarded, right? The fans, I think, that's how Viking fans are. They're kind of a little bit of wait and see in some respects, and they're seeing it today.
There were fouls by both teams during the play.
Okay.
Illegal formation by the kicking team, number 0, left before the ball was touched in the landing zone. During the return, illegal block in the back by the return team, number 85, and illegal block in the back by the return team, number 96.
We got one that got 2.
Cincinnati's elected to offset all those fouls.
Okay.
We will re-kick.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, I mean, if you look down at the Vikings sideline right now, you got a couple of people playing catch. All right? Minnesota Golden Gophers undrafted quarterback Max Brosmer and new quarterback to the Covenant, played with the Raiders and Falcons recently, Desmond Ridder. How do you think the crowd would react if the Vikings are crushing and O'Connell replaced Wentz with Desmond Ridder?
Oh, they'd boo.
Yeah, I mean,
they would boo.
Well, it's not going to happen.
No,
but
they would. No,
I mean, talk about a day of first. That I'd be shocked if Max Brosmer didn't get his first regular season opportunity.
I'll agree with you on that, and we'll see how this drive goes. But if the defense comes up and gets the football back in the hands of the offense, we might see the last drive by Wentz of the day.
Right.
But
Carson's been terrific.
He has. And again, offensively, Paul, we stopped ourselves. That's the only problem that we've had today.
And boom, Reichert, he's like, forget all this landing zone, running into each other stuff. I'm just going to kick it 5 yards out of the end zone and just let you go to the 35 and see what happens.
It might be the prudent thing to do in a situation like this, because what kills you right now is scoring quickly, and you're eliminating the opportunity for a kickoff return touchdown.
And they just showed J.J. McCarthy on the big screen just in passing. I mean, if you're J.J. McCarthy, you're looking at this, A, happy because your squad's winning. B, you're going to have a long career in the NFL one day. But C, you're kind of wondering, like, Holy cow, man. Like, where was all this defense? I mean, just like everything
Well,
I was in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the offense is just different with Carson Wentz. And credit to Kevin O'Connell of just opening things up the right amount to get him to play like he has today.
Final play of the third quarter is a run to the right side. And when we return, the Minnesota Vikings will be on defense with a 48-3 lead. It's the fourth quarter of the second home game, and the Minnesota Vikings are crushing the Cincinnati Bengals. This is Minnesota Vikings football. Our friends at TimberTech have a checklist at the website for those of you desiring a deck. Go to timbertech.com, get started there, and after you go through the checklist of what to do with the decking and to find a contractor and everything, get yourself some samples. You'll love them. They'll send them to you for free, timbertech.com. And finally, when you work with those contractors, you will recognize TimberTech works with only the best. So if you need a deck with deck durability, start at timbertech.com.
This Minnesota Vikings season, touchdowns are great, but sacks are better. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings is giving away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Vikings get 2 or more sacks in a game. This Sacks for Wings promotion is valid 3 days after each qualifying game at participating Buffalo Wild Wings throughout Minnesota and surrounding areas. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including new happy hour and late night offers throughout football season at your local B-Dubs, a preferred sports bar of the Minnesota Vikings.
Martin Marietta, an American-based company, is a leading producer of heavy building materials and the top supplier of aggregates and asphalt to the Twin Cities. Guided by values like safety, integrity, and stewardship, Martin Marietta strives to provide the materials on which our communities grow. Visit martinmarietta.com to learn more. Interested in a career with a rock-solid team offering competitive pay and benefits? Visit careersthatcrush.com to apply today. Skol Vikings!
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Take Paul, Pete, and Ben with you and stay connected to today's Vikings game by listening live on the iHeart app and KFAN.
Ben Lieber, Pete Bursich, Paul Allen, producer Chad Abbott, engineer Jared Wells, Mike Mussman at Scoreboard Central, Nick Madden on social media, David Koob on stats and spotting. Brendan Molesky is the master control supervisor at FM 100.3 KFAN and the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network. Jake Browning is quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, and to start the fourth quarter, he's back to pass and he throws to the right side, and it's caught by Jamar Chase. Potentially, I believe, the longest play of the day for the Cincinnati Bengals, a 28-yard hit to Justin Jefferson's former teammate at LSU, Jamar Chase.
And Jamar Chase can be so good off the line of scrimmage. Jeff Okudah was rolled up. I don't know if he was trying to jam or just, mirror him and get in the way, but Jamar Chase just got right around Okudah, and Okudah, thank goodness, has some catch-up speed, or else he would have been gone.
First down into the fourth quarter, 48-3 Minnesota, pistol formation. Samaje Perine's out of the game. They're not using Chase Brown. They're using Taj Brooks, a rookie from Texas Tech. That's a 1-yard gain to the left side. We have a Covenant cleanup here. Master control supervisor for this one, Zach Halverson from the wildly successful and highly touted Power Trip Morning Show at FM 100.3 KFAN. 2nd and 9 for Cincinnati from the Vikings 29-yard line. Jake Browning still at quarterback. Puts Charlie Jones in motion to the left, and Browning's going to throw that way. It's a screen to the tight end, who dropped it, of course. But Charlie Jones, I believe Jones, the speedy wide receiver, fell on it. And after all that, they'll get to the 24-yard line. A serendipitous gain of 5 for the Cincinnati Bengals, making it 3rd and 4. The Vikings came into the game -3 in the ever-important turnover differential department. Well, they flipped it to +2 They're +5 today against Cincinnati. Almost were +6.
It was Theo Jackson that got in there, and that's kind of the great thing. We saw Eric Wilson do that a week ago. All week long, they watch the film, they see what he was able to do. And now Isaiah Rodgers comes out and knocks a couple out. And Theo Jackson's, I mean, it's amazing. They're ball hawking on defense, and it's a momentum thing, right? Defensively, turnovers come in waves. We've gone 2 games without any interceptions, and then you come in today and get 2 of them. So things are turning. The tides are turning right in front of us.
And Bo Richter in the game, he nearly recovered that fumble. The name Isaiah Rodgers was mentioned. First Viking in the history of the team to have 2 defensive touchdowns in the same game. He's also the first player in the history of the NFL to have 2 defensive touchdowns and 2 forced fumbles in the same game. An historical day for Isaiah Rodgers. On 3rd and 4 from the Vikings 24, trailing by 45 points. Jake Browning goes out of the shotgun. 3-man rush, throw short left side. It's caught at the 20-yard line. Chase Brown back in the game, and that's going to be close to a first down for the Bengals. They needed 4. They got 3-ish. They came up short. So that's 4th and 1, Ben Lieber.
Yeah, I just love the pride that Brian Flores has. You know, he takes all the starters out on this drive, then they get down to a critical 3rd and 4, and he puts all the starters back in. He says, not on my time. I don't want this on my stat book, as they line up for 4th and 1.
And on 4th and 1, Browning sneaks up the middle following replacement right guard Jalen Rivers, a rookie Kane, replacing Dalton Reisner. He'll plunge ahead for 2, and Cincinnati has a first down at the Vikings 19. Flag on the play, by the way. We get a couple of flags down here.
Getting a lot of new numbers in. Austin Keys getting in there for defense. Here we go. Ivan Pace covering kicks.
12 players on the field on the defense.
Oh, no.
A 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Results in a first down.
We had too many men out there.
No.
But if you're going to do it, I guess do it up 48-3. Again, it's the perfect scenario. Pete Bursich is former linebackers coach for the Minnesota Vikings, so he knows that, great, crush somebody, get defensive touchdowns, couple of rushing touchdowns, Jordan Mason, 2 passing touchdowns, Carson Wentz, the Alabama kid booms it from 62, but you got something about which to complain. Penalties, etc. That's a coach's lament. 1st and 10 from the 15. Browning throwing to the end zone, and it's knocked away. Flag on the play. Dwight McGlothern on the coverage of T. Higgins back right of the end zone. And somebody on Ron Torber's step says PI.
Defense, number 6. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Dwight McGlothern Jr., second year from Arkansas with the infraction. So now it's 1st and goal from the 1, and exactly what Ben Lieber said. Now, not everybody, but Jonathan Grenard returns. Jalen Redmond is returned. We still have Chaz Chambliss out there. Bo Richter still in the game. But Jeff Okudah, Dwight McGlothern, he's in the game as a corner. So Isaiah Rodgers, his day's probably done. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, rookie from Georgia, he's in with Ivan Pace, Levi Drake Rodriguez. And it's 1st and goal for Jake Browning and the Bengals. Handoff goes to Chase Brown. Levi Drake Rodriguez smashes him in the backfield, gets him around the ankles, and throws him down. Best play potentially of Levi Drake Rodriguez's young career. It's a loss of 3, 2nd and goal.
And that's just a mental error up front. I don't know if they were expecting the tight end to be the lead blocker and take him out, but Levi Drake Rodriguez slanting to the inside. No one blocks him. He comes up and makes a big play. And the movement of him and Jalen Redmond up front, they're just giving headaches to these offensive linemen.
2 receivers to the left, now 2 to the right. Chase Brown is slot right inside Jamar Chase. Jake Browning takes the snap out of the shotgun. 2nd and goal. Looks right, sees nothing. Flag on the play. He'll loop it to the left side. It is caught by Sample, and the tight end gets to the end zone on Chaz Chambliss. Touchdown Cincinnati. Pending infraction. It's against the Vikings, so this touchdown will count. That is Drew Sample, 7th year from Washington.
Illegal use of hands in the face. Defense, number 8. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So let the record show with 11:12 to go in the game, the Minnesota Vikings permitted a touchdown. The only touchdown they've given up today, it's 48-9 Minnesota.
What are you going to say? The defense, I think, is done. Just had a spectacular day overall. I mean, when you're able to recover 3 fumbles, cause 4, I believe, overall, maybe 5, and then 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
They have dominated this game.
Extra point drive for Evan McPherson. He's not going to walk off on the Vikings today in overtime like he did 2021 and 2023. On the sleep number scoreboard, Minnesota 48, Cincinnati 10. Vikings go on offense next possession. Here's the tease. Is it going to be Max Brosmer at quarterback? Find out on the KFA and Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
A winning team needs great players. At Trade Home Shoes, we have legendary players like Birkenstock, Brooks, New Balance, UGG, Adidas, and Nike. We also have top performers like Hoka, On, Olakai, UFOs, Ultra, and a rising star, Rival. Whether you're gearing up for game day or the daily hustle, score a winning pair for the whole family at Trade Home Shoes. Proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
You're listening to Vikings football.
She's Jan, the ultimate Vikings fan. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jan Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Hey, friends with food allergies. Life is about to get way easier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, let's not argue. You've got enough stress. Just remember this name. Liam's. Liam's. Lee to the ums. As in Liam's frozen entrees that are free of the top 9 allergens. What? Gluten-free, too. Delicious, nutritious, ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
Hi, I'm Amy Hockert with Fox 9. Have you downloaded Fox Local yet? Fox Local is how you stream Fox 9 on your TV or your phone for free. You can watch all of our newscasts, original programming, and all your Gopher and Viking shows.
And welcome back to Vikings Game Day Live. We'll take a look at JJ.
So download Fox Local on your TV or your phone and stay connected to Fox 9 with Fox Local for free.
I'm TJ Hawkinson, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN. Back to Vikings football.
Scoreboard Central.
Brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings, tied up at 10 with Green Bay and the Browns. And then Michael Penix Jr. gets benched, throws 2 picks. In comes Kirk Cousins, and Carolina is just taking it to the Falcons. 30 rip. Now back to TA.
Right. Thanks, Muss. And not only do you have Cleveland tied with the, what we're being told, seemingly unbeatable Green Bay Packers at 2-0. Marcus Mariota replaces Jaden Daniels for Washington. They're just beating Las Vegas by nearly 20 points. Michael Penix benched, as you just heard, for Kirko Change. What a crazy weekend. Here's the kick. Ty Felton heads up to the left side, 25-30. Felton with his first return. Stumbles to the 25-yard line. What happened?
Why do you think the crowd's cheering?
Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let the record show. Max Brosmer is in at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, replacing Carson Wentz, who was replacing J.J. McCarthy. And the undrafted Gopher, who had a fantastic preseason of football, but quite honestly, he opened the coach's eyes well before that with his acumen and work. Up 2 preseason games. He's in a quarterback with 11:07 to go, and he's going to hand it to Xavier Scott. And this has been Xavier fumbled, by the way. Xavier fumbled. I believe the Vikings fell on it. They did. So it'll be second down. But we have Ben Urasek in there as tight end left. So this this definitely, Cam Akers has just come in. Xavier Scott drops. Cam Akers back with the Vikings for a third time in his career. They just signed him a few days ago, elevated him yesterday from the practice squad. This definitely has the feel. Walter Rouse in at right tackle. Brian O'Neill is out. Also in at right guard for the Minnesota Vikings is Joe Huber, the undrafted offensive lineman from Wisconsin. Pass over the middle, Brosmer incomplete. This has become a first, second, or third preseason game. The names and combatants seem to be a little different than what we saw in the preseason, but nevertheless, 48-10 Minnesota would lead to something like that.
What a great throw by Brosmer. I mean, he put that thing right where it needed to be, and Adam Thielen wasn't able to come up with it. So that's not on Brosmer. I just want to see this kid get up and down the field a little bit. I'm excited to see him in there.
Brosmer out of the shotgun. Puts Josh Oliver in motion. Screen left to Cam Akers. Incomplete off the fingertips of Cam. So now it's going to be fourth down. And the Max Brosmer era begins inauspiciously. But you got to start somewhere, and your team is leading 48-10. So the menu of plays is probably reduced to like the preseason menu. In fact, speaking of the preseason, it'd be cool if like Kevin O'Connell was mic'd up and joined us for all the fourth quarter like he does in the preseason. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it would be. And again, I mean, I'm not picking on Thielen, but that was a ball that should have been caught, and that would have extended the drive. So great decision by Brosmer.
Ryan Wright with a punt to his right. Charlie Jones, fair catch at the 20-yard line. Ooh, excellent pursuit by the gunner, Ty Felton. Well done. Getting down there in a lickety-split fashion. 43-yard punt by Ryan Wright. On the sleep number scoreboard, we pause. Minnesota 48, Cincinnati 10 on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
For Minnesotans, the outdoors is home. Nobody gives you more ways to get there than Polaris. From Indian motorcycles and Ranger side-by-sides to Indy snowmobiles and Bennington pontoons, we bring Minnesota's best to every season. Our wooded trails, twisted highways, and the rugged shores of all 10,000 lakes are an invitation. A chance to let what's outside challenge what's inside you. Polaris. Think outside. A proud partner of your Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings faithful, listen up. Your game day checklist is more than wearing purple and gold. It's about victory from the first play to the final whistle. During tense, close calls, Dove shampoo, body wash, and deodorant keep you fresh and dry from head to toe. And what's a true Vikings tailgate without the secret weapon to sliders and sides, Hellman's Real Mayo. Then when post-game dishes pile up like a defensive line, 7th generation detergent is the powerhouse that blitzes through the grease and grime. Stock up on Dove, Hellman's, and 7th generation. And Skol Vikings.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Vikings tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So, get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Vikings.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey, the Power Trip. You know, the good thing about our Vikings radio team, if we lose any more linebackers, we got Bursich and Lieber ready to go in. We'll break down this game tomorrow morning, 5:30 to 9 on your Minnesota Vikings morning show, the Power Trip, right here on The Fan.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Vikings football.
This is Vikings Bengals, live from US Bank Stadium on the audio home for Vikings football. FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
Jake Browning back to pass, throws left, caught Mike Gesicki to the 26-yard line, and that'll be a gain of 6. Minnesota leads 48-10. 10 minutes to go in the game. The clock is running. And now's the perfect time to score the Hyundai car or SUV you've always wanted. See your Twin Cities Hyundai dealer today. Jake Browning, in and out of the Bengals practice squad for quite some time. 4-3 as a starter in 2023. One of those games he beat the Minnesota Vikings, but that ain't going to happen today. Handoff to Brooks left side, and the rookie is upended by Bo Richter. Jalen Redmond with the assist, game 1. That'll make it 3rd and 3. Browning is 19 of 27, 104 yards. He's thrown a touchdown, and that went to Drew Sample, and he's thrown a couple of interceptions.
And he threw a touchdown to Isaiah Rodgers, too.
Yep. So he's thrown 2 touchdowns, technically. Yeah. Isaiah Rodgers, just in case you're joining in the ever-changing audio world, Isaiah Rodgers, with 2 defensive touchdowns and 2 forced fumbles, is the only player in the history of the NFL to do that. Browning, facing a 4-man rush. Here comes a Minnesota Viking, and it's Arden Keyes, the undrafted Arden Keyes, who gets his first National Football League sack, and Cincinnati is punting.
Yeah, great job on the blitz, just taking on the running back and not even slowing down. And Paul, like, you watch Jalen Redmond out there making plays. I mean, he's such a huge add in the fact that they were able to get rid of Harrison Phillips, trade him away, and give Jalen Redmond the job. And he's doing such a good job being in there.
That's a great point.
It's so important.
All right, this day of first, can we get our first punt return touchdown since 2016 and Marcus Sherrills? Miles Price retreats to the 14. He gets to the 15, heads to the right side of the 20. He's to the 25. A Bengal slip. Now he's to the 30. Gets to the 40. Oh, come on! Miles Price, dynamic punt return. I thought for a second he was going to be the first to get to the house since main man Marcus in 2016 against the Texans. But it's a 28-yard return. We'll take that with a 48-10 lead, middle of the 4th quarter.
I like to see him start taking it a little bit more north and south, but he's absolutely doing a great job, and ball security, of course, being the most important thing. And I think Price is he's another guy that you had question marks about going into the season.
Max Brosmer at quarterback. A botched exchange between Brosmer and Michael Juergens, the starting center.
False start. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. First half.
Well, Torbert cut Juergens a break there because Michael has 2 penalties this game, so he's like, everybody but the center. By the way, the Minnesota Moving Company, Walter Rouse is the right tackle, Joe Huber the right guard. Juergens, with his first career start today, replacing Kelly, he's still in. Likewise for rookie Donovan Jackson, he's still in at left guard. And Blake Brandel is the left tackle. Brosmer, toss left to Xavier Scott, turns it up on 1st and 15, and he might have gotten a yard. But the clock continues to run. Ben Lieber?
Yeah, what do you think the odds are that we give Adam Thielen another shot here? I get that we're up by 38 points and the clock is winding down and you probably just want to run the football, but now Thielen comes off the field. Right. As I say that, Thielen comes jogging off the field. He's just got to redeem himself. I mean, Brosmer could have had his first NFL completion and it went right through his hands.
Well, how about rookie to rookie? Ty Felton up top in front of the Bengals bench. 2nd and 15. They'll run again. Zay Scott from a shotgun formation, so it's a gun run, and Zay Scott runs for 2. Xavier Scott with 7:10 and counting to go in the game. It's 3rd and 13 from the Vikings 40-yard line. Thielen's back in the game, likewise for Speedy Naylor, Ben.
Yeah, let's do it. And, another guy that we were, so high on during preseason is Joe Huber in that right guard.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of hard to, break down offensive line play here on the radio, but...
Well, listen to you be a snob. I mean, you got drafted from K-State. My man was undrafted.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, from a listening standpoint.
Yeah, right. I mean, Pete went to Notre Dame, smartest guy in the world.
Great set, inside punch. Oh, it does a great job.
Yep, first completion, left side. Ty Felton, rookie to rookie. Let the record show Max Brosmer with a completion to Ty Felton. It goes for 10 yards. That's good news. Problem is it's 3 yards short of the first down. And Ryan Wright is into punt to Charlie Jones.
Yeah, Paul, I guess I got to be a coach, and the only reason why it wasn't a first down was because of what? A penalty, false start.
That's a good point.
So
Pete,
get 11.
Pete,
yes.
Stop. We'll have time to talk about that.
Big rush on Ryan Wright, end over end punt. Charlie Jones with another fair catch. This one at the 9-yard line. Ryan Wright is he's on quite the hot streak right now. Elite day today. Fantastic day against the Falcons last week when they needed it because they didn't score any touchdowns. 4 punts for 50-some-odd yards, 51 per last week. And he got out a rough game against the Bears, had a 32-yard punt. Tightly contested game, too. But when the Vikings were trying to hold on to the lead, Big Boy had his final punt, hang time, whole thing added up. Kevin O'Connell praised him for it. And ever since, Ryan Wright has been absolutely fantastic for the Minnesota Vikings, who will improve to 2-1. 5 minutes and 58 seconds of game time from now. Probably, 10, 15 minutes of real time. Brett Rippon, the former Viking, is in the game. Brett Rippon, quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Hand off to the rookie Brooks up the middle. He gets 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Brett Rippon, who knew?
Yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals have to come up with a lot of answers, Paul, with this. This is the first time that they've started 2-0 under Zach Taylor, and he's been there. This is his 7th season.
Yeah,
they were leading the division. Yeah, by the way, at 2-0, and then to come in here and to play the way they have, they just lost their quarterback Burrow, but it's happened to them before.
Mm-hmm.
But man, just a disappointing response.
Toss right. Taj Brooks, sorry to clip there, but that's a reason. He gets to the 17-yard line, so it's certain too. We might need Muss at Scoreboard Central or somebody who can see the Packers-Cleveland game. Muss,
yes,
I see the Browns have the ball approaching the end of the game. 2 seconds to go. It's tied 10-10.
Yeah, and the Green Bay 38, they had a kick for the win, and it was blocked.
Come on.
Browns get the ball, and here you go.
Oh, the Packers.
Packers had theirs blocked.
Oh.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
so Cleveland's sitting on their 38 right now with a chance to win it.
Actually, 8 seconds to go in the game, 10-10 from the dog pound. Here at U.S. Bank Stadium, Brett Rippon facing his former teammates with whom he executed his toil in the preseason, including Chaz Chambliss.
Look at that.
Who just got his first NFL sack the same day Arden Keyes got his first NFL sack. The same day Jordan Mason ran for 2 touchdowns in a game for the first time in his career. The same day Isaiah Rodgers became the first player in the history of the NFL with 2 defensive touchdowns and 2 forced fumbles in the same game. And the same day Will Reichert hit a 62-yard field goal. That's the longest in Minnesota Vikings history. Well done, everybody. Now we can take care of that Marcus Sherrills thing right here.
Yeah.
Miles Price at the 30-yard line. Rico with the punt. Miles Price eyeballs the Bengals punt coverage team. Heads to the right, back to the left of the 35. Tries to squirt free at the 40, and he can't. He dives ahead for a 10-yard return. So it's 48-10 Minnesota, 3:41 to go in the game. Kevin Stefanski, longtime member of the Minnesota Vikings from 2006 until they lost that playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers. He coaches the Cleveland Browns. They've had a lot of problems of late, but he's a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year. He's trying to do the Vikes a big solid here and beat Green Bay. Muss, what's happening?
It's going, and it is good.
Put that on here in the building. Where's Harper?
13-10 win, Browns.
The Cleveland Browns. I'm going to tell everybody in the crowd, hey, the Cleveland Browns just beat the Green Bay Packers. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they did. No, I'm not lying, ma'am.
We're going to get the wave going here in a second.
Cleveland just beat Green Bay by 3. They put that thing up on the board. It's going to sound good enough to eat.
Yeah, well, a win here for the Vikings puts us tied for the lead in the division.
Yeah, but it shuts up that fan base, making their team sound like the 85 Bears.
Oh, yeah, man. I get that. But the league has changed. And on any given Sunday, if you'd have told me we had been a 48-10 winner over the Bengals, I wouldn't have believed you either.
Max Brosmer, quarterback. But how about this? When they put the Packers score up, the place got so loud despite leading 48-10. Oh, Cam Akers up the middle, weaves to the right, to the left, to the 50. Cam Akers smooth to the 41 of Cleveland. The crowd got so loud when Stefanski walked off on the Green Bay Packers, they actually had to put the quiet offense at work on each of the big TV monitors.
Yeah, and that may be the reason why they're not, they're trying to keep that on the down low here.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Well, you know what? I mean, as good as I've heard from everybody that Green Bay is, Cleveland must be unbelievably good, right? Like Brian Sipe at quarterback, Jim Brown at running back. Yeah, must be amazing.
They were good enough to lose to Cincinnati.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Cam Akers, left side, runs into a Bengal at the 38, falls ahead to the 36-yard line. That's going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Your Minnesota Vikings lead their Cincinnati Bengals 48-10, and the 2-minute warning hits to a standing ovation here at US Bank Stadium. They just put Isaiah Rodgers on the screen. This is the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
When it comes to managing your blood pressure, you play to win. You've made changes to your diet. You stay active. You've followed your doctor's game plan to the letter. But when it comes to your health, you can't always tackle it alone. Go beyond typical treatments with a Simplicity blood pressure procedure. Brought to you by Medtronic, official sponsor of the Vikings. Talk to your doctor. Results may vary. Adverse events include but are not limited to temporary pain and bruising. Read important risk factor information at beyondhbp.com.
That is the sound of bacon sizzling, of fresh vegetables being chopped for a made-to-order omelet, and the grill being fired up for one of the juiciest burgers around. Hungry yet? Hy-Vee Market Grill is better than ever, with mouth-watering new menu items for breakfast and lunch. Whether you dine in, get it to go, or have it delivered, the best breakfast and lunch is at Hy-Vee Market Grill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Vikings fans, game day starts early at Mystic Lake, home of the official watch party of the Minnesota Vikings. Catch the Vikings take on Pittsburgh all the way from Ireland at 8:30 a.m. Sunday, September 28th. Enjoy food, drink specials, photo ops, a fantastic Vikings merch booth, giveaways, and appearances by Vikings cheerleaders, and the Skull Line. Vikings versus Pittsburgh from Ireland, Sunday, September 28th at 8:30 a.m. Come to the official watch party. Get details at mysticlake.com.
The recruitment industry has changed, and it's time for you to take action and change with it. If you're looking to advance your career, or your company is looking to hire key individuals that can grow your business, GPAC is here for you. We are the eyes and ears of the industries we serve. Contact us today at gogpac.com. That's GOGPAC.com. It's grow time.
I'm Justin Jefferson, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN, back to Vikings football.
Welcome back inside the final 2 minutes, Pete.
Well, like you said, Paul, a day of first. Green Bay Packers losing to the Cleveland Browns is probably the most Stefanski thing I've ever seen Stefanski do, is to take a team and 0-2 and go against the biggest, baddest kid on the block and beat him. So congratulations to Cleveland. Thanks for helping us, because we're going to be tied for the division lead at the end of this one.
Max Brosmer, a quarterback for the Vikings, supplanting Carson Wentz, who replaced J.J. McCarthy in his bad ankle. Cam Akers runs left. Clock runs. 1:45 to go in the game. Jordan Mason, who had 2 rushing touchdowns today for the first time in his career. Jordan Mason, Ben Lieber, I'm sure you got all this down, but 116 rushing yards, averaged 7.3 per, and that was the 4th 100-yard game of his career and the first multiple touchdown game of the career of Jordan Mason. Spent the first few years with the San Francisco 49ers, place he traded for him in the offseason. And he scored 2 rushing touchdowns today. Handoff Cam Akers on 3rd and 6 up the middle. And he'll be thwarted at the line of scrimmage. We have about a minute to go now. And once again, on behalf of the Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, including the flagship KFAN, From afar, we wholeheartedly would like to thank one of our favorites, Kevin Stefanski, coach of the Cleveland Browns, for leading his team to a 13-10 victory over the Green Bay Packers, further tightening things in the NFC North. And the Detroit Lions are at the Baltimore Ravens tonight, so that should be a doozy. David Koob is the longtime statistician and spotter for the radio and/or audio network. And Koob's key to the game, not surprisingly, involves Isaiah Rodgers. The new cornerback for the Vikings had an 87-yard interception return touchdown. He did that in the first quarter to put the Vikings up 14-0. Then he forced a fumble and then picked it up on his own because he's just that good, and went in from 66 yards out for a fumble recovery touchdown, putting the Vikings up 24-3. Isaiah Rodgers also forced another fumble by Jamar Chase that was recovered by Jeff Okudah, and he's the first NFL player in the history of the game with 2 defensive touchdowns in a game and 2 forced fumbles in a game. So NFL history made by Isaiah Rodgers. Well done, young man. Rosemer, back to pass, swings right to Xavier Scott. He bounces off of Brown at the 40, gets loose at the 30. Come on, Zay! Inside the 20, toe tapping the sideline down to the 15. And he went out of bounds, which is bad news for the Cincinnati Bengals, because that means the 16-yard swing pass, catch, and run. They didn't say it was out of bounds, so the clock runs, and that's going to be the end of the game. The Minnesota Vikings are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 48-10. Ben Lieber with Jordan Mason coming up shortly at Vikings football.
Pentair helps the world move, improve, and enjoy water, life's most essential resource. From great tasting water for homes and businesses, to energy-efficient pumping solutions and everywhere in between, Pentair is